What's going on, guys? Give me a second. I'm just getting started here. I just had to do a couple of last minute things. Now, my PlayStation wasn't able to connect, so I think Elden Ring is going to have to run on PC today. What's going on, Matrix? Mine split on the sides? Really? You know what? I'll tell you about that in a second. Give me one moment. Let me just check these things out that I need here. Coffee chat, live streams, done. I need a thumbnail on this one. Yeah. I wish this stuff was automatic, man. They can save this. There's got to be a way of doing this. What's going on, Guido? Give me 1 second. I'll be right on. New guy. Nice. Yeah, this is a new guy. All new guy. Oh, what the heck is going on here? All right. Let's coffee chat. Tech and life. Chat. Elden Ring. We're gonna do some SCUM talk in a little bit too. And there was something else I forgot I was gonna talk about. Beginner's welcome. Let's do that. Let's do those. That's fun. Recording date is today. Today's the 24th. Man, this day's flying by. This whole month has gone by, and I can't believe we're already in June. Gaming. We'll be gaming. We'll leave gaming. It's not really. It's gaming related, right? So, top note, newest is better. Let's go ahead and save these changes. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let's check old Twitch. Just want to say hi. Hey, Matrix, give me 1 second. Seeing you gone live, but with a client out. No problem, man. You're lurking? Okay. I'll answer your question about this. I have something to say about those, these armrests. They kind of have given me trouble. So let's get started here. All right, you're back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. 9:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in sunny South Florida, where it is definitely mostly sunny and it is 84 degrees outside. I'm happy to be back. Can I just tell you, it's been way too long. It's been way too long since I've been on, and I had to come in. I have to say hello. I've got to like catch you up on what's going on. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn this music off here in the background. We don't need that anymore. That was just like while I got myself ready here. Had to do my hair, you know, put my makeup on, all those fun things. Listen, it's been a while. It's been a while. I have been gone for about a week, a little over a week, it feels like. Man, I took a nice long vacation. I went away with the family, which was really fun. We had a good time. Go ahead and close this back out to this here. All right, I'm just trying to get used to my whole system again. Every time I go away, I'm like, all right, how do I work on this machine again? How does this thing work? How do I stream? All right. Anyways, listen, it's been a long week. A lot has happened. I'm going to catch you up on what's been going on. I'm going to tell you about my vacation. I took a little bit of vacation. I know, like Guino said, by the way, good morning, Guino. I see you there. Like Guino said to me in one of my comments, he says, you need to work before you can take a vacation. Damn. Freaking Guino, man. He's like, you gotta go to work first before you can ever take a vacation. Well, you know, yeah, there is that, but my wife deserved a vacation. She just brought me along. How about that? Let's just say that my wife needed a vacation. She decided to bring me along. I think that's the way we're gonna talk about it. And my kids wanted to go too, so we said, all right, I guess you guys can come too. What did I do? We went on a cruise, man. We took off. We went on a cruise. We jumped on a ship, And the great thing about going on cruises, and by the way, I really don't like cruises with the exception of that everything is inclusive. Well, for the most part, everything is inclusive. And so you don't have to do anything. You feel like you're on a big giant resort just floating on the ocean. You don't even realize you're on the ocean sometimes. And if I can get my, I'm going to try to put some of these pictures and videos onto my Discord. And that way I can show you some of the actual images, and we'll do that in a moment. But what was great, we went to let's see, where do we go? We went 7 days. We jumped on the ship, Royal Caribbean, called the Icon. Big, massive ship. It's wasted on me because I don't do all the fun stuff when I'm on the cruise. And we went to St. Kitts. Is it St. Kitts and Nevis? I think it is. It's in that area, the East Caribbean. And we also went to St. Thomas. And then, you know, when you come back, you stop at the island. The Royal Caribbean has an island called Coco Bay, which they went ahead and needed to make this a stop, where basically they want to charge you more money. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. She needed a baggage handler. That's why my wife brought me along on the vacation. It's actually true. This is true. She needed a chauffeur and a baggage handler. That's exactly why I got to go on the vacation. Yes. So what's up, Solar? Good to see you, man. Hey, Matrix was asking me a question before I continue with my vacation talk and just catching up. And then we're going to talk about some news and views. And then we'll be playing Elden Ring today. But let me tell you about this question that Matrix asked. He asked about this secret labs chair, because him and I have the same chair, I believe. We have a very similar chair, and he said if how my armrests were holding up, and I gotta say they've been good, except for the fact that the magnet on this side, well, I guess it's the magnets that are used in the armrest itself, and then these are metal here. They're not very strong on this left side. For some reason, they've gotten weak. They've gotten demagnetized. So if I hit it a certain way in the back, they just come right off. And so that's kind of lame. They haven't split. They haven't worn. I use them quite often. You know, I lean on them quite often. They have gotten dirty. Let's see if I can get this one off. See, this one's on a little tighter, so it takes me a little longer. But they have gotten a little dirty. I actually wiped them down the other day, and I was surprised how much dirt. I'm like, damn, do I not shower? My elbows are real dirty. I don't know why. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. What's up, Solar? The wife and I have been wanting to go on one. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. Dude, you'll have a great time. Let me run down the cruise thing for you real quick. What's really great about a cruise, depending on which one you go on, I usually only travel Royal Caribbean, and I believe Celebrity is part of Royal Caribbean also. It's just like it's a tier below. Royal Caribbean is like a tier higher than Celebrity in a sense, where they go and the type of ships, or at least the size of them. So we do both depending on where we're going. And you listen, if you've never cruised before, and if you, well, there's two things. If you have a port near you that you can jump on a ship and go, I would say, you know, you can do just to start off, do like a weekend one, do a three to 4 day one. And then you're all right, because that way you'll test it out. You'll see how you feel. You'll see if you like it. And they're not that expensive if you do that. But however, if you're going to travel to a port just to get on a ship to go on a cruise, because some people like fly out to Miami, they fly Fort Lauderdale, depending on which cruise they're taking. Sometimes you'll have to fly out. You know, I have the convenience of having 2 main ports near us. So actually 3. So I'm able to like really jump on a ship like an hour away or something, sometimes 2 hours at most. So it's not a big deal. But if you have to travel, take flight and all this stuff to go onto a ship, you might as well go at least for a 5-day cruise. A 5-day cruise is kind of what I like, only because it's good enough where you do enough stuff, you stop in enough places, depending on the cruise depending on where you go, and it's not like, oh my god, I can't wait to get off of this freaking ship. You know what I mean? I think for me, 7 days is way too much. We did 7 days. 7 days was kind of like, all right. On the 5th day, I was like ready to, I'm done. I want to go home. You know, but obviously, you know, you enjoy it, but it is a little bit long. I would wait to do a big one once you're like comfortable with it. But like I said, if you're traveling, if you have to fly to get to the port where the ship's going to take off from, obviously doing a 3-day, 4-day, or just a weekend cruise is kind of like pointless, because that's a lot of money to spend just to go for the weekend. So obviously do at least a 5. A 5, like I said, a 5 for me is perfect. I would do a 5. I've done what's the longest I did? I did the Iceland one last year, was it? I believe it was last year we did the Iceland one. Or the year before. I can't remember. It was the summertime. And that one was a lot longer. I don't know if that was 10 days or 12 days. I got to look that up. It was quite a long one because we went to Iceland and then we went to Ireland. And it was quite interesting. We had a good time. We went from Amsterdam. That was a big trip. But this one went to St. Thomas and St. Kitts. So one of the things I didn't know is that St. Thomas is part of the Virgin Islands. There's 3 of them. I believe they said there's 4 of them, but they are US based. So you can go there. It's US. I don't even think you need a passport. It's crazy. Well, you have your US passport, obviously, so you can, but still. Galveston is that's where your port is like 3 hours from us, so we could use that one. Yeah, definitely. There you go. If you can find one that goes out of there and you could do like a weekend one to start out with, I would do that. So the thing with cruises is it's all inclusive. It's great because you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to worry about where we're gonna eat, what are we gonna do for fun, where do we park, what time do we have to leave to drive there. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So that's what's great. So you basically, you're in a room. If you have 4 people and you have teenagers, which I need to do this next time, get 2 rooms. It's a little bit more expensive, but if you can afford it, get 2 rooms. Man, it's unless you get a freaking suite, which is a lot more expensive. But yeah, you can get 1 room with up to 4 people, and that's usually what we do. We don't spend a lot of time in there, but the problem is when we do spend time in there, it's very cramped, especially when you have girls and they leave their clothes everywhere and they don't understand the concept of just empty your suitcase and put things in the drawers. No, they live out of their suitcases, so the place is a mess. And I'm constantly cleaning up, trying to tidy up so the guy can come in and clean the room, because obviously they clean the room every day for you. Change your towels, change your linens, things like that. Really nice. Let's see. So typical cruise days, just so you know, if you've never taken a cruise, you get on board, obviously your luggage gets sent to your room. You get on board, the party starts. There's already music playing. There's drinks being served. There's food. The dining room is open, so you can go in and get whatever you want. And you basically just explore the ship until it's takeoff time. There's already shows, there's already things to do, not really shows, but activities to do. And you basically are immediately party time once you get on the ship, depending on whether you get on at 11 a.m. or you get on at freaking 2 p.m. like we did. Doesn't matter. Then the ship takes off around 4 or 5. Once it takes off, more fun starts. And so basically you have an itinerary of things that you can do. There's activities that are basically around the ship, there's either family events like karaoke, there's people playing music at the bars, because there's a couple of different bars you can sit down and listen to music, whether it's, we had dueling pianists, 2 piano players playing together. There was also one lady that would play piano by herself. There was some guitar guys, there's some Spanish guys, there's some island music. There's all sorts of music everywhere. And you would think that if you walk down this, what's called the promenade, which is usually the 5th floor, 5th deck, it's like a mall basically. And when you're walking down, there's could be 3 or 4 different music events going on. But as you move through, you don't hear the one that you just passed anymore. And it's pretty cool because you're like, oh, this is nice. Duh, it's in the name, U.S. Virgin Island. I never thought about that. Guido, I am so dumb. I'm so dumb. I never thought about that. I don't know why I thought it was British rule. They drive on the wrong side of the road anyways. So a lot of good stuff. Food everywhere. Did I say that already? I said that about food. You have to really be careful what you eat though, because man, you can really overdo it. So we had a good time. I'm gonna show you some pictures as we go through. I'm gonna let me do that for a second. So what's going on with you guys? What have you guys been doing? You guys been playing? You guys been doing stuff? I don't know. What have you been up to? I know a couple of you have been like working really hard. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try to send this over to my Discord, and then I can bring up some. I got a couple of clips. Casino, food, drinks. I'm in. Exactly. You know, I did not go to the casino this time. I spend a lot of time in the art shows. They have art auctions, and I bought a couple of art pieces. I'll show those to you too. But I didn't go into the casino this time. You know, it was a big ship. There was so much to do, but at the same time, the only thing I didn't like was that you had to actually reserve. I'll bring it up on this. You had to actually reserve notes for me. That's good. You had to reserve the shows before you got on the ship. Usually there's shows running like every night. There's a different show, but because this ship was so big, it housed basically like 7,000 people. Like it could have 7,000 people, and it had at least 3,500 workers. So there's about 10,000 people on this ship. And so with all those people on this ship, the shows, like they have these main shows. They'll have a comedy guy that come out, you know, he'll do like regular comedy, then he'll do adult comedy. So there's two different shows there. They'll have a juggler or magician kind of guy. Then they'll have like an ice skating show, like a show on ice. Then they'll have some kind of a musical, like a musical play or something that they'll perform. This time was Wizard of Oz. And then they'll have a, let's see, some random show that they make up, which is like kind of going to a theater. And then, which has a lot of dancing and singing also. And then they'll have like a water show. And this one's in the Aquadome. So they'll have these main shows throughout the event. I'm sorry, throughout the week. The only problem was that you had to reserve ahead of time before, like, as soon as you booked the trip, you had to start looking at when you can reserve your spot for these shows. And if you didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to see the show unless there was availability to get in after the people that reserved. So that's bad. So the same shows were being played throughout the trip, and that kind of made it suck because of the fact that it wasn't like different shows every day. It was kind of like the same shows every day. It's you were only going to the one you reserved for. So that was annoying because before it used to be like other trips that we've gone on, we'd have a different show to go to every night. And there were at least, honestly, 3 or 4 nights on this cruise where we didn't have a main show to go to because we booked the other ones on the days that we could. And that was like, I believe it was like 2 or 3 days out of the 7 we had shows to go to at night. The other ones we had to like fill in with musical stuff. Like, oh, we'll go listen to this music. I've been playing, you've been playing Terrace Land and work, not much else. Terrace Land, I haven't played that. Oh, isn't that the one that's like WoW or something? I saw you also have to reserve your dining times. So yes, so you actually have to pick your dining times. It's important that you pick your dining times, and because that's the time you will eat in the dining hall every night at that time. Same table, same waiter. You get the same guy throughout. You just have different kinds of meals. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. If you don't want to have a sit-down dinner, then you can just go to the freaking Windjammer, it's called, and they have food everywhere, and it's open from like all day long, basically. And you can just go and eat whenever you feel like it. But if you want to have a nice, like a meal, sit down, have somebody bring you a menu, you order, you don't pay anything, you're good. Now, excuse me, there are a lot of extras that you can pay for. So let's say you wanted a premium meal, or you wanted to go to one of the premium restaurants, because they do have restaurants on the ships that you can actually reserve and go to, and then you end up paying extra for that. So there are extra things, like they have Starbucks, and Starbucks is extra. So unless you buy the dining plan or the beverage plan or something like that, you'll be paying for that a la carte. So that's an annoying thing, but there is so much available to eat that you don't really need to do any of that stuff, unless you're like this fancy pants person and you need to have all the luxuries. And so, I want to pay for extra stuff. No, you don't need to do that. You pay enough. All right, let me drop some of these images on here. I'm gonna do the videos first because those will probably take the longest. So I'll do this, this, and I believe that. Okay, we'll do that. We'll send these over. Okay, so I'm trying to send this over onto my Discord. I will have to get with you on this stuff. I don't mess up. Yeah, give me a call, man. I'll help you out with that. There are 5-night cruises for me for $425 per person. If that is all inclusive stuff, then I need to get on it as soon as possible. So understand this, there's going to be like $425 plus taxes and things like that. So it's going to round off a little bit. You got to look for sales, and you do end up paying gratuities, but that's all built into whatever it is that you pay for. So it balances out a little bit. But $425 seems kind of low. You have to check also what room you're getting. So like, for example, you may be getting a porthole room, which is basically just what it is. You'll have a porthole on the side of the wall where you're going to see underwater. Man, you won't see underwater, but you'll basically see the ocean. Or you'll have an inner room, which we like, there's no window, there's nothing. You just basically, you have a room and it's all walls. So you want to try to get a room with a balcony. And when you pick your room, because you get to pick which stateroom you want to go ahead and pick one towards the back of the ship. It seems that it's less rocky on the back of the ship, supposedly. I think that's what they said. Yeah, because in the front you'll feel everything. So either middle to back, I would say. So go with an outer view and go with a balcony if you're going to do something like that. I'll get with you soon. I'll look and see depending on where you want to go. I could probably look for a good one for you. All right, this is down. I'm waiting for this to upload. Okay, I think it did. All right, perfect. So let's see what's going on. Let me see. Guino's been working and playing Paxton. Pax D. Is that what it is? Pax D, Pax Die. What's up, Callie? Good to see you, man. Anything that ports around here are lobster boats. Oh, those are so much better. All right, let's see. Let me get my Discord up. Oh, I don't have my Discord open? What the heck's wrong with me? Don't switch. All right, let's see if I can find this. Notes for me. All right, I don't know what a lot of this stuff is, so I'm going to just go ahead and play it and see. We'll see what it is and see if I have to add volume. A couple of these I think are shows. Let's try this one. Okay, yeah, this is I might have to, man, some of this is music, so I don't know if it's gonna freaking copyright strike me. I'm gonna lower down the music just because I don't want to get problems. I don't want to have the problems, you know. Let me see if I can do this. Where the heck is where are my buttons? Twitch. It's not Twitch, it's YouTube. YouTube and Twitch. All right, close up, show and tell. I think it's it. There we go. All right, let's try this one first. So I don't know if you can see this. This is one of the shows, and I just turned the volume down because I don't want to have any problems. But this is a woman. This was like a superhero show. It was kind of cheesy, kind of corny. Some of them had really good voices, though. There was a guy that was singing. He sang like a rock star. It was really good. There's a lot of dancing, a lot of light shows on this one. It was good. It was all right. I didn't mind it. Let's do the full screen there. She flies around on this thing right over you. It's really dramatic. The lighting, I think, was the best thing. It had really good lighting there for this show, this particular show. Like a laser light show. Have you seen this new one? No, I have not. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to look at the trailer for that one. So that was one. Let's see. All right, let me go to the next one. Let's see. I believe this was also the same one. I'll lower down the volume. I don't want any problems. But just to get you an idea, this is the light show going on here. Maybe I can put a little volume on this one. Now this was really cool. They had now the music's corny. It's all right. They had these drones, man, and all of a sudden they took all these drones, came out of the floor, because they have like a stage, obviously. And these drones started flying up in the air, but they're the synchronized drones, you know, the ones that you program. And so they make like shapes or colors or whatever. And that's what you're looking at there. That's what all this was. And this was above the people's head in the theater room. It was pretty cool. But you see these now, like Disney World has a drone show now as as their part of their finale show or parade. It was just cool. So they kept going on and off. This show wasn't that great. I think, like I said, the lighting was really great. The laser shows, the drone lights, and all that was pretty cool. But as far as the story, it was kind of cheesy. The main character was so lame. I was wondering when you were back, the PAX D game looked like it was something you would be grinding. No, I decided to wait on that one. We took a look at it last time before I left, and Guino was going to be playing it, and I just decided I was going to wait on it. I wasn't too crazy to get in there yet. It seemed like just a freaking builder, man, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do another builder. At least you get a window. Didn't have one of those in Caribbean Cruise. Oh, I know. I've made sure I've never taken a cruise where I had no window. I have to have a balcony always. It's like a Valheim MMO thing. I don't know, man. I think I don't want to talk bad about the game because I don't know it, but I'd probably play Valheim again before I play that. It seems like a big giant sandbox to me right now. But it's definitely it's like the world is going to be made by the people that play it. That's what's pretty cool about it. All right, so that was the drone thing. Let me see if I got another one. Oh, this is good. Hold on, wait. This is the water one. That's the water one. All right, let's go to this one. Look at these guys, man. Okay, hold on. I was flipping out. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but you see that guy up on top? He's running and jumping to stay on top of that thing. Let me see if I can put some volume on this. I know there's music. Yeah, I don't want to. I was freaking out watching this. This guy was like, oh my God. I honestly thought he was going to fall. I saw this and I was like, hell no. So this was in the back of the ship? No, this was at the front of the ship. Let me watch that again. It freaks me out. Look at this guy. Okay, he's way at the top, right? Watch him. There's a guy on the inside, but this guy's on the outside. Look, he just jumps. Oh my gosh. And he kept doing that. And at one point, he was trying to jump rope and he tripped. And I thought, holy crap, he's going to fall. And he didn't. It's all show. Yeah, these guys used to be so cool when you were a kid. I know. I've seen these a lot. They're always on a cruise or Circus du Soleil or whatever. And it always freaks me out, man. It's pretty cool though. Let me grab another one. All right, let's go to this one. I believe this was one of the aqua perform. All right, this was a little more lame. This guy, I didn't like this one that much, but it's pretty cool. There's basically a tension ribbon or something, and he's just balancing on it. Let me do that again. I didn't record a lot of that one. He's just bouncing. I mean, obviously it takes skill. It just wasn't my thing. I was like, all right, yeah, this guy's on a tension ribbon. All right, I get it. Yeah, nice. Okay, no. I was like, I'm not filming too much of that. Let's see. What was this one? Did I get anything on here? Oh, yes. Okay. So I can't play this music, but this was a sci-fi show. And it was all like sci-fi theme music, like Star Wars and Terminator and whatever. And they were doing all these lights. But the whole reason I recorded this is I want you to see this. Look at these lights on the back here, right over here. Those lights, the red and the whatever, the light wheels. Oh my God, I need these. These arms here, I want to get these in my room. I want you to watch them. They are so cool. It's so scary. Look at that. They're automated. Obviously, they're programmed. They were doing lights. They were moving around. They were turning. Those freaking arms are amazing. They actually use those arms to load things onto the screen, the area. Now, the other thing that we don't see here, and unfortunately, I don't think I recorded any of it. I got to get it from my daughter, is way up top, and we can't see it because it's way up there in the ceiling. There was a drop, and these two pillars here are diving boards, and people would just like jump into this pool in the middle. And by the way, the pool, it actually was a regular floor, and then it would sink down to make the pool. And I kept thinking to myself, if that's not coordinated right, and the guy at the top is about to jump and they forgot to make that into a pool, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. So choppy water mid jump. No, thank you. I know. Yeah, so this was like, they did a lot of Star Wars. I got to make sure I don't have any volume on this. Anyways, those lights are freaking awesome. Those arms, those robotic arms. Can we build one of those? Come on. It can't be that difficult to build those things. We can do it. Let's get some Legos. We'll get some Legos. We'll build those. I got some comments here I got to read on YouTube. Give me 1 second. I'll get through that. So that was, I think those are the only videos. Yeah, okay. So that was that. Let me see if I got anything else. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, so it was fun. I'll pull out some more pictures later that I can throw up there or something. Maybe I have some other videos. It sucks that I can't play the sound of them because, you know, get in trouble. Copyright crap. Let's see. What do we have here? It says, you bought a second copy when my cruiser went on the submarine. My cruise was on a submarine. Nice, Guido. So right now, PAX D is a building game. Nothing else is ready yet. Callie says, I'm getting burnt out on survival-themed games at this point. Seems like every game company out there is trying to cash in on the survival builder game genre. Yes, that is actually true. We have noticed there's a lot more survival games. And it seems like the builder games are really taking over. Like, it's every survival game now is like you have to build, you know, your hut, you have to build your area and so forth. Before, there used to be survival without the building. It was like just survive, and here's your knapsack, and you got to go find some twigs and do stuff. Now it's like you actually have to build a base or a camp. You can fight and do dungeons, but you need a lot of people to get the gear for them, and the combat is just a placeholder. Ah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, it's not, that's PAX D. It's not ready yet. I'm not gonna say it's not ready yet, but I think the world is going to evolve as people play it. And the thing with this game is like you have to have friends that are playing it also. You gotta build like a community of people. You gotta make friends, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to see the good stuff. It's kind of the days of WoW before there was like looking for raids, where if you wanted to be part of a raid. Sorry, the guys are cutting the lawn. That's why I hate streaming on Mondays. Anyways, if you wanted to be part of a raid or even participate in a raid, you had to know people. You had to be in a raiding guild. You had to be in a, you know, have a group of people that were raiding that would invite you along. It was tough. Same thing with specific dungeons. Like if you didn't have looking for group, you'd have to actually know people to get people together to actually go, or say, hey, you guys are going, can I get in? Or you would stand by the dungeon entrance and you'd be like, hey, you guys need a fifth? I'm a healer, I'm a tank, I'm a ranger, whatever. No, didn't want you. And it was always like that. So this game is just kind of even worse when it comes to that, I think. Which is why I don't play, because I wouldn't play consistently, so it would suck. Survival. We're gonna talk about some survival games in a moment. We need to talk about SCUM. We need to talk about SCUM and Rakit. Yeah, some stuff came out. Well, he said some things, and I wanted to go over it. You can fight and do dungeons, and we read that. I'm sorry. It's exactly what I want, but I'm a weird niche. That's why I said I need to find a new community for that game. Don't leave us. I'm just kidding. Just popping in to say, hey, what's going on there, Doomy? Good to see you. How's my vacation? It was good, man. It was really relaxing. I unplugged. I did not bring my laptop with me, which was a first, but I did bring my iPad. But I realized I wanted to try to do some editing on some images while I was away. And then I realized I couldn't really do that so well on my iPad. So I was kind of pissed off. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not working. So I didn't get to do too much, but I did enjoy it. It was a lot of downtime, a lot of relaxed time. I didn't eat a lot, which was good. I try to stay my same weight because I'm really working hard at trying to lose weight again. So thank goodness I didn't go overboard. Really got off the ship at St. Thomas, and we went to see. We went on a kind of a flavor culinary trip. I told you a little bit about history. We saw Blackbeard's castle, or his fort, or whatever. We saw a couple of things there, and we tasted some really good food. And I had a drink. I haven't had a drink in a long time, and I had something called a painkiller, which was like rum, pineapple. Let's see, it was rum, pineapple juice, orange juice, and some kind of a condensed coconut sweet milk. It was delicious. Tasted like a pina colada almost. It was delicious. Actually, solo is good for me. You know, I like the slow progress, and it's great for that solo. Nice. Hey, as long as you're having a good time with it. I was with a big group, but you got everything way too fast. Ah, no, I can understand that. Okay. I'm jumping in between here. Ooh. All right, I'm looking at both Twitter and YouTube. Just trying to keep up. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. I actually, for those of you that are into SCUM, and you know that I used to love playing SCUM, and then, you know, it took a turn for the worst. It's not that, like, again, I always have to preface this with, it's not that it's a bad game, it's just that it went into a bad direction, and we had a lot of problems with it. And now we've been, let me just say this, and the community that follows me knows this. We've been talking about the problems in SCUM since December. We've been talking about the horde thing. We've been talking about how the spawning is wrong, how the horde encounters just completely screwed the game, and how they changed the spawning system for the puppets or zombies. So therefore it just ruined that immersion of the game and that realistic feeling of just rolling into a town and there'd be puppets there waiting, either sleeping or walking around in the in the town itself on the street, or they'd be in the houses. And that would be, it was a great way to play. It was like very exciting, and you never know what was going to be around the corner. But ever since they changed the encounter, the way that works, the encounters, and added this whole new encounter system for the hordes and for the spawning of the puppets and all that, it has been dookie. One of the things that I'll highlight really in this conversation is the fact that we used to use sniper weapons with scopes, and we were able to like take them out at 100 meters. And it was fun because we would just sit on a hill or stay outside and see them, and we start taking them out. And it was great. Can't do that anymore because if you get past 50 meters or so, they disappear or they don't spawn in. So we had a lot of disappointments there. But again, we've been talking about this since December. Like the end of December during the break, we were saying like, they've got to fix this, right? And this has been 6 months of giving up on that game. We gave up on it only because we're like, you know what? It's same old. They haven't fixed it yet. In fact, I'm going to go over a little bit of a spreadsheet here if I can to see how the fixing has been going on. And what I was surprised was that other content creators were not immediately talking about it. You know, when it comes to SCUM and SCUM players, they weren't really immediately talking about it. A lot of them were saying, oh, you know, it's early access. It's going to get fixed. It's just a bug right now. They're going to fix. A lot of them did not say a lot. They just kind of patched it and kept moving on. And then all of a sudden we saw Casual War Dog, which is a YouTuber, which is heavy on SCUM. He immediately came out and was like, this game is broken. And then he got flamed. You know, people were like, oh, you're just saying that, you know, you're whatever. People get mad when you talk bad about something they like. So he came out and was honest about it. Then Luthias came out. I don't know which one came out first, but one of them. Then Luthias came out, which is another big SCUM streamer on YouTube. And he's got lots of how-tos, by the way. And he started saying how it was and how broken the game was and how disappointed he was. And he really laid it out. I mean, he was pissed. And that guy, you know, rightly so. Let me just say, and I've said this before, Luthius spends over $600 a month on servers for SCUM, for his community. He spends a lot of money. Let's just say that. And he was pissed because the game was just not working the way it was supposed to work anymore. And it was just causing too many issues. So as the months came along from December forward, you saw more content creators talking about it, SCUM content creators talking about it, and saying how the game was broken, how it was the encounter system was just bad. They should go back to the spawn system. We did this. I've had like, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos on this where we talked about the community was talking about it, the Twitter post, the community forums post. I mean, everyone was saying the same thing, and nothing was being done to change this. Now, having said that, all along this time, for the past 6 months that it's been, RayKit had never said any bad thing about the game or the devs. And by the way, this is not about saying bad things about the devs or the games. This is about pointing out the facts where the game was just not working right. The game was broken. It didn't work the way it used to. They really did screw up, and they weren't fixing it. And I was so surprised. I'm like, when the hell is this guy going to say something? Now, in his defense, I will say this. He was, until recently, more of a PvP player. So the things that we encountered as PvE players, or a more heavier PvE environment, he may not see, because their focus was get loot, make a base, raid, hide from people, take people down, and that's it. You know, it wasn't so much about the puppets. It wasn't so much about the immersion. It was just about the PvP part. Now, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm not reading chat. I'm going to read chat in a second. I'm sorry. So that was his view then. And it wasn't until recently where he started playing more of the PvE side. Even though there's still PvP in it, he was now playing PvE. And I started listening to a lot of the things that Ray has been saying. And one of the things that he said was the same thing I said months and months, if not years ago. SCUM is a PvE game with PvP functionality available. And that's always the way I saw SCUM. And so he finally said that, and I was like, all right, he definitely is changing the way he's playing. But it wasn't until recently that he actually put a video out saying how broken the encounters were, how broken the spawn system is, and how this needs to be fixed. And I'm like, what took you so long to realize this? So he is now on this trip of letting everyone know how broken the game is. It's still a great game. He says the devs are great. He's not throwing anybody under the bus. He says the devs are amazing. They will fix it. It's you know, one of those things where he's pointing it out so the devs really get on this and start fixing it. But I'm like, we've been yelling about this for 6 months. And now you're getting on board? So I just like, it just threw me. So I don't know if you've seen this video. It's a short video. Let me see if I can find it. Let me read some of your comments too. What's up, Brink? Good to see you, man. Long time no see. Long time no see. Made it for SCUM time. Oh, good. Made it just in time, brother. I need a coffee if he's breaking out the spreadsheets. Yeah, I'm going to break out a spreadsheet. Actually, let me do that first. I put the spreadsheet on our Discord. I miss my sleepy puppets. I do too, Matrix, man. That really sucks. Raykit is now Team Wolfpack. I don't know if that's the case because I watched a recent stream of his and he was referring to someone that he was watching, and I really think he was talking about me, and he didn't say me by name. He did mention it was a stream. He says, I was watching a guy last night, his videos, where he talks about the state of the game, and I do have a video called State of the Game for SCUM, and how I was saying how there were not as many content creators playing it anymore. And I did say that in that video. And also he said it's someone that has a lot less viewers than I do, or a lot less whatever viewers or subscribers than I do. And which is the case. That's true. So, but he didn't mention me by name, but everything he said was completely towards the actual video that I was talking about. Now, the other thing he said is that the person that he was watching mentioned him in the video, but not in a bad way, which I never mention him in a bad way. I kind of mention him as like kind of like a discussion on what he's doing, why he's saying what he's doing. But I don't have anything bad to say about RayKit. I've learned a lot from him early on, so I wouldn't bash him. But I get so confused sometimes when I don't see him say the things that he should say. But okay, I'm gonna say this, and it doesn't sound bad, and I'm gonna play the video. He hides behind. Sometimes he hides behind the part of having a great relationship with the devs, and he basically doesn't want to say anything that's offensive to them. He only wants to give them constructive criticism and not hate. And that's fine, because guess what? We've been doing that forever. I've been doing that for over a year now, where I give constructive criticism. I call it how it is. I may not like something. I may not like a direction they're going. I can be completely confused, and we'll talk about it. But at no time have I ever said the devs are pieces of crap or anything like that. But then again, people don't like criticism sometimes. And by the way, he did mention that people said about him being a butt kisser and whatnot, which I'm never going to say that. But let's be honest. He has the views that he has. He has the channel that he has because of SCUM. And of course, if he's getting paid and this is his livelihood, listen, no fault to the guy. If you're getting paid by a specific content and a specific game, you're gonna do everything you can to keep that going. And if that means like being pro, like always being like, no, this game is amazing, the devs are great, yes, it's broken right now, but the devs are great and the game is great, and he wants to keep people there, then he's going to do that. But here's the difference. I'm gonna say this, and somebody's gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. So because they're gonna be like, mind your own business. I'm just having a conversation. This is what this is, coffee chat. So I noticed something on his videos now. Ever since he painted his room, he's been doing a lot more on camera kind of talking videos. Like he'll sit there. He has his stance now. I'm too low. I'm gonna get it a little bit higher. He has a stance where now he puts his hands like this. He has his mic, and he's like, "Hello, folks," and he talks to people, and he's on this kind of like interview kind of thing. And I'm like, I've been doing talk, chat, freaking streams and videos for the longest time, so I can tell when somebody is changing their view on how they're streaming now. And and he's doing a lot more of the chatting now, of the putting himself out there on camera and kind of talking. Now, here's the other thing he's doing. He's also doing a lot, and by the way, I just noticed these things. He's also doing a lot of the saying that the game is broken and like really complaining about the game without being offensive. And those are the videos that he's been doing lately, because those have been getting a lot more views than his viewership was going down. And he's been doing these videos, and now people are listening up again. They're like, oh shit, this guy's talking bad about it. Because that is an interesting thing for Ray to do. It's completely different. So I'll show you that. It's okay, Nord. I'll say it for you. Thanks, Callie. Butt kisser. All right, let me read a couple of these. RayKit is now Team Wolf only because he's White Knight stance didn't work anymore. And that's the thing. Exactly. I think he switched it because he realized a lot of people were being turned off by the idea of, dude, read the room. The game is broken. Freaking admit it already. But he didn't. He did say it's broken, but it's like all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, oh my god, yeah, this game is unplayable. Dude, it's been like that for 6 months. What's up, Captain Cruiser? Welcome back. Thanks, brother. RayKit is still a dev butt kisser. He's only spoke up about the problems because he was losing viewers. You know, and that's I gotta agree with that. And just like you said, it's okay, Nord. I'll say it for you. It's way more brown noser than he is now. M Miss Impossible is way more a brown noser than he is now. See, that's where I honestly, I hate to say this because I'm actually part of the part timers, and I love freaking Tyrone to death. Tyrone is freaking awesome. Tyrone Shoelaces. I've been watching him since I freaking started playing Scum actually, and I found him and I was like, I gotta watch this guy. This guy's freaking hilarious, and I love this guy. And he put me in his group of part timer, and then I saw that Miss Impossible became part of part timers also. And no disrespect to her whatsoever, but it's not my type of stream. She's a pleasant young lady, I'm sure, but I could not. It was like if you thought Raykit was white knighting, she's like freaking 100 times worse, and I just couldn't do it. It's I don't know. I just couldn't do it. There's nothing wrong with loving something and supporting something, but going overboard when I don't know. It's just not my thing, man. I'm sure I'll get shit for saying that. I'm like, oh, stop talking bad about people. I'm not talking bad about people. I'm allowed to give my opinion. I'm not saying they're, like I said, as a person, she's lovely. I'm sure she's a great person. I haven't had much conversations with her, obviously, but that's just not my thing. Let's see. Let's bring this video up in a second. Let's bring the spreadsheet up first. Yeah. Guinos is too busy running around screaming and having fun to notice the game is broken. That's the thing. That's the other reason I couldn't watch that too much, man. Too much screaming and yelling and just silly sexual innuendos and whatnot. It's just not my flavor. No, you know, this is not my thing. He needs the devs to fix the stuff, or he needs to find a new game in the community. That's basically what's happening. I mean, if the game is your content and that's what's bringing you views and that's what's paying your bills and this is what you do for a living, yeah, that's a problem. Listen, I remember back in the end of 2021 when Point 7 was coming out, I believe it was, when the planes were coming out, I really had big freaking goals for Scum. And I was like, yes, because I saw the growth. I mean, if I go back and I look at my like Twitch ranking and whatnot, it was freaking climbing because that's what we were playing for we were playing only Scum. And that's what was happening. We're building a community. It was great. And by the way, a lot of you guys that are still around, that are still here, even though some of you are silent and dormant, which is fine. I don't mind. I know you're working. I know you're doing your thing. A lot of you I met from Scum. And so I'm very thankful for that. But then as soon as 7 came out, freaking screwed me. It was like broken shit here, broken stuff. The game changed. And it was like, nope. And I couldn't stream it anymore as much as I used to. And eventually it died down for me and I stopped playing it. I'm looking forward to see what happens with it though. Let me read it. Let me hold on. I gotta bring this over here. Where's that Discord message? And I'll bring this up on, I know I have it. It's probably on Scum, right? Yeah, it's in Scum. It's on my Discord. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I got it. Dun dun dun. Can I open this in a browser? Yeah, I can. Yay. All right, for spreadsheet brink. Probably hard for Raykit to read the room of the game when the most of his chat never disagrees with him. Echo chamber is bad. It's true. You know what I gotta, by the way, I gotta talk to Hyde. I haven't talked to Hyde since vacation. I mean, it just got crazy. I should have, let me just say this. I should have reached out to her before I left because the last stream I did, I may have reacted a certain way to something that she said, and it was just, you know, it wasn't meant to be a disagreement, but I think I may have upset her, and I didn't mean to do that, so I have to reach out to her. And I'm saying this publicly because I'm the first, you know me, I believe in when you screw up and you do something wrong, you should admit it. And I'm saying this publicly because I do care about Hyde. She's been with me through since the days of Scum, when I found her on the side of the road and I left her there to die. No, in Scum, in the game. But she's also been a really good friend and has given me a lot of advice along the way, things not to do, things to do. And she's been my mother hen. You know, she's been like basically my stream mother. So I don't know if she's watching now or she's busy, but I need to reach out to her because I don't want her to feel that anything that we had that conversation on the last stream that was meant in a bad way. Because I don't take, you know me, I don't take anything that serious. But either way, I'd reach out because I'm sure I was in the wrong there. Anyways, don't come down on me now, okay? We'll figure it out. But to say that the reason I'm bringing that up is because not everybody agrees with everything I say in this. My community doesn't always agree with me. In fact, a lot of times they don't agree with me. And that's what works here. I don't have an echo chamber. I don't have one of those that this is what I believe and this game sucks and everybody's like, yeah, it sucks. No, you guys give me your opinion. When you don't agree with me, you let me know. And I like that. That's the whole reason why we have coffee chat. That's important. I did see all the changes coming for Conan, and I was very sad for you guys because I know you love your mods and how those mods have been now not supported with all the changes going on. It's going to suck. So I was wondering what was going to happen with that, but we'll talk about that later. Guido says Miss M doesn't really play Scum. It's really more of her social hangout. I believe that's true. I 100% believe that. But then again, that's what streaming is. Streaming is really a hangout, except for the people that just play games. They're just, I just want to play my game. I don't care. All right. What did I miss over here? Let me just look at Twitch. I know Matrix is working and he's here, so I appreciate you being here, even though you're working, man. All right, let's look at this spreadsheet real quick. This is just a quick excerpt of looking at 3 different updates in a row. Let me go to show and tell. Now, I put this on our Discord, and, you know, I just kind of mentioned this because I don't know if you guys would agree with this, but I don't have the game installed anymore, so I don't see the updates as of, like, update 90. But one of the things I was noticing with the updates every Monday they came out, it was the same stuff kept coming up over and over. Like, there were still things that were there. And I was like, nothing's being, it's like nothing is being done. But then the stuff that we were looking for was never being done. And so this is update 88, update 89, update 90. Now, the only thing, I know that they were upgrading the infrastructure. So because of that, all these other items basically out the window. And so I realized what these updates actually are. They're not updates on the progress of the things that are being worked on. And stay with me on this for a second. The updates that you get for Scum Monday updates are not the progress of things getting resolved. In other words, a punch list. It's not. The update is basically what they are actually working on, but you don't get a progression of what is actually fixed or what is actually done, completed, moved on. That's off the punch list now. That's not what this is. It's just, this is what the guys are spending time on. Because the reason why I say that is because if we look at update 88, 89, then we look at 90 for the programmers, all of these items that were still on there, and you'll see, let's just take one, for example. Working on loot cooldown system. And then an 89, working on loot cooldown system. So they're still working on that. But then in update 90, none of that is there anymore because it has been replaced with upgrading infrastructure. So did all of these items get resolved, or did they just not work on them because they have to switch focus to upgrading the infrastructure? And that's where it's like, it made no sense. Then we had things that were always on, again, like code reviews, commit system migration, you know, it's like the same stuff. Then we had these are the other ones. Now these are ones that appeared and then they disappeared. Working on priority rendering issues. Okay, now we don't see that anymore. So what happened? Did that get resolved? Probably. Here's another one. Working on dropship functionality. Okay, that's gone. So I guess they're done with that. And it's only assumptions because it doesn't say anything about whether this was completed or not. Obviously bug fixing. Let's go to level design. Now level design is what it is. They just write the same thing. Working on distant LOD. And that has happened for 3. There's nothing else. The entire team is still on it. Yep, still going, and that's basically what it is. Now the art team, again, they're working on things, working on new trailer, working on new trailer, working on new trailer. That's always there. Optimization, bug fixing, optimization, bug fixing, optimization, bug fixing, always there. Then do we have these that seemed, I guess these are done, working on quest assets and update 88, but they're no longer part of the art teams on 89 or 90. So I'm guessing the quest assets are done. Foliage, new textures, resolving new clothing. I guess all of that is done. So this is where none of this really makes sense to me. But a lot of the times when we look at this, and this is only three different, this is 3 weeks view. If we went any longer than this, we'd see stuff over and over that never kind of is the same thing. I honestly, between you and I, this is between you and I, right? I really feel that the Monday updates are useless. They are. They're just useless. It's just the same shit over and over. And like you guys saying, sometimes we don't admit we agree with you, even if we do. I know that's true, Guido. We don't know because they don't list anything that's done. They don't show a roadmap, just snippets of what is being worked on. Exactly. This is kind of like my the way I work. All right, today I'm going to work on this, and then doesn't mean I get it done, but I'm going to work on this, and tomorrow I'm going to work on this. Doesn't mean I got it done. So when my wife asked me, "How you doing on that project?" I'm still working on it. That's kind of the way it is. There should be some kind of a map, right? There should be like a roadmap. This is what we're working on, and this is the progress. So we expect to be done by this time. I mean, come on. Most people that work as a programmer, developer, or something, they work off of some kind of a timeline. They have an idea of how long something takes. They have an idea of either when they will be done with something or when they need to be done with something. Yeah, so like I don't have the game installed on this machine anymore, so I don't see updates. The infrastructure made it so they couldn't do any of the other stuff until they finished the upgrade, I believe. No, I agree with that. I'm obviously aware that when you're upgrading your infrastructure, everything has to stop. And I also feel that I can make an assumption. I think I can do this without getting in trouble. I can make the assumption that they're upgrading the infrastructure because a lot of these issues probably had to do with the infrastructure. And so them moving to upgrading the infrastructure probably would help resolve a lot of these issues that they still were dealing with. Now, that's an assumption I'm making, but I think I'm okay with doing that. Not to bring up Star Citizen. Brother, you can bring it up whenever you want. But they are very public with full roadmap, shows what is done, what got pushed back, what's confirmed, etc. Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's really important that any early access game or any game that is really still being worked on, or especially a game that has issues, has some kind of a roadmap or of, hey, we're working on this. Hey, we completed this. Check, check, check. This is now working. The update is coming out. Whatever. I think it's important that they do that. It's just a way that you should work. All right, let me see. Let me find this video for you. All right. I think this is one of the videos here, so I'm gonna bring this up. We're talking about Ray Kid. I just want to finish our Ray Kid conversation, and again, not bashing the guy. I'm just pointing out the differences. Which, listen, I can read the room. I know you guys have probably thought about this or have seen this, and kind of thought the same thing. And I'm just having a conversation about it. So it's not like I'm throwing anybody under the bus. It's the same thing that everybody's been thinking. We just don't all talk about it as much as I do. I have an obsession. No, I have a SCUM obsession. Let me close this out. Get the wrong thing up here. Okay. Now, Number one, by the way, I do agree that his background being dark now is so much better. But this whole like newscaster approach with the hands folded thing's got to stop, bro. It's just too freaking cheesy. I don't know. What are you doing? But look, so the minute he starts talking about finally had enough, my personal thoughts regarding SCUM, honest and direct, 10 days that video has gone out. 10 days. 6.2 views. 6.2 thousand views. And if you look at best locations for archery gear, 2.5 views for a month long. 5.8 views. My take on SCUM's latest patch, love it or loathe it. That's kind of when he started. He's like, I'm going to venture down this route, but it was still, even 1 month later, hope for recovery. SCUM's identity crisis has left players divided. This is when he openly talked about whether or not what you guys thought. You know, he wanted to get player feedback, but of course it's his community, and there's 6.5 thousand views. So the shorter period, as you can tell, everybody, by the way, this was a clickbait. Everybody needs to see SCUM 1.0 is in your hands. That was clickbait. It sucked. It was terrible. 3.5 thousand views in 3 weeks. But these last two videos, with the exception of the trader one that came out 2 days ago, SCUM for Beginners, Trader Secrets Revealed, nobody really wanted to know that. I love that he's changed to the pink. I have pink. But this is it. Let's see. Which is the one that I want to do? I think. Finally had. Oh, let's do this. Okay, this one is. How long is this? 3 minutes. Let's do this 3-minute one. This is the one that we should do. And I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to rewind it, and we're going to watch this one.
Ladies and gents, a very warm welcome to the video. I hope we're all doing well. Okay, something a little negative here, but something I want to post out and give some feedback on as well. Right, so I think it's about time the devs need to figure out if they're going to keep the horde system or fix the spawn system. Because right now, the way that the horde system works is a spawn system isn't exactly...
Hyde is in the room. Hyde is here. Good morning. I woke up to my ears burning. Did you hear me talking about you off stream? Hyde, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm making I got to put myself on the big screen. I can't have Ray Kid's face when I apologize to Hyde. That would not be good. Hyde, I just want to say I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me for not agreeing with you or coming down on you really hard, too hard, making you leave the room. That was, it felt so wrong in so many ways, and I was away on I was on a cruise ship far away, so I couldn't reach out. Which, yeah, that's my excuse. Damn it! I hope you can take it. There you go. All right, forgive me or not, that's up to you. But I put it out there. That's my job. Hyde is in the house, everybody. Welcome, Hyde in. All right, here we go. Let's finish up this video. So as you can tell, he's already he's saying what's wrong with the game, which is something we already knew. I know you do. I just hate that we, had that uncomfortable feeling. I left on my trip with that uncomfortable feeling, so because of that, I had a horrible time. You don't have to agree with me, just have to be nice about it, jerky face boy. I didn't have as much coffee as I should have that day, all right? That's what it was. Damn it. All right, back to show and tell.
Working very well. That they the horde system or fix the spawn system, because right now the way that the horde system works is a spawn system isn't exactly working very well on top of the horde system that they have. Now the original.
Now this is like what I was saying, and I'm not going to interrupt too much, but this is what I'm saying. The whole reason we do this is to react to the video. We've been talking about this for 6 months. It's just like, really? Now you're finally admitting?
Original spawn system was actually quite nice. It worked out well. We had puppets laying down.
It wasn't quite nice. It was awesome. Listen, the original spawn system was great. We had a great time. As a server admin, we knew how to tweak it to make it just right. We knew how to balance the wild zombies out in the wilderness versus the ones inside in the houses or in the buildings versus the ones in the town. We had good control of how they spawned, when they spawned, and how just the whole interaction. It was a great system.
Down in buildings, would find them, you know, they wouldn't absolutely like 10 of them spawning at once, but the problem is the way that they're doing it right now. And I'm about to show you a video clip here, guys, that's very frustrating. I know the game is in early access, but I'm finding right now that we really
that whole thing about, I know the game is in early access, has been the song and dance for the longest time, which we need to stop saying that. There is no listen, you can't call a game early access when it's been like what, 2018 to now. It can no longer be called early access, okay, because it's a functional, time out, let me back up. If it was early access, they wouldn't be releasing DLCs that you're paying for, or expansions, or whatever the hell you want to call them. You can no longer call it early access when you're collecting additional monies for it by incorporating other things into the game that people have to play for. And the game has been going on like this for years, and it's been playable, and people have been playing it. Okay, it's not. It's just because it's not one. They haven't decided to call it 1.0 yet. We're done with this whole, well, it's not working right because it's early access. I'm sorry.
That no longer works. No, it does not.
It doesn't.
This needs to be prioritized in many ways. I didn't really see it before, I'm not gonna lie, but now I'm seeing it all the time.
I don't know how you didn't see it before. Like I said, the only way he didn't see it before is because he's playing PvP and was not really paying attention to the environment. He was paying attention to just, where's the next person I'm going to take down? Where's the next raid happening? That's what I'm looking for. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
But now I'm seeing it all the time. And there's a lot. See it before, I'm not going to lie, but now I'm seeing it.
I didn't see it before, I'm not going to lie. Dude, you did see it. Okay, I'm sure you've heard. If you were reading your chat, if you're reading the community for, here's the thing. He must only read his chat that echoes what he says. Because if you were spending any time in the community forums, or even in SCUM's Twitter feed and seeing what people were writing, you would have known that this was happening. And that's where it's like, how can you be, okay, I'm just gonna be an asshole for a second. I'm sorry. Good morning. It's Monday. It's time to be an asshole. I'm gonna be an asshole for a moment. And let me switch to full view, because when I go asshole mode, I want to go full. I want you to see me, because I don't want to be like, little tiny window, I get to say what I want. No, I'm here. I'm gonna go full asshole for a second. All right, let's do this right. If you are into a game or into something that is your basically your livelihood, if this is what's paying your bills and you put all your eggs in this basket and you play this game like in and out and are constantly, you know, promoting it, and you're saying this amazing things about it and amazing things about the devs and all this stuff, and you're not taking the time to read up on what's going on in the game by either community forums to hear what the community is actually saying outside of your stream chat, or you're not freaking reading the Twitter posts that are being put in on every freaking single SCUM tweet that goes out there. It's always there. If you're not doing any of that, what the hell are you doing promoting this game then? That makes no freaking sense. You can't sit here and like put your full focus on this freaking game and be like, this game is awesome, this dev's awesome, everyone's awesome, yay, everybody gets a freaking SCUM. You know, you can't do that and not even know the freaking temperature of the room by looking at what everyone else is saying around the SCUM community for 6 months. and then say, I never noticed this. I'm not gonna lie, I never noticed this. The fuck is that? Ugh. It's so freaking annoying. One of the reasons why I've not put out any more SCUM videos like how-tos and whatnot, or how server settings and all that crap, is because I'm not playing the game. I'm not playing the game right now. I uninstalled it. I'm not going in there because there's nothing for me to do. Now, I'm being honest. So therefore, for me to go out and go, oh, I'm going to cash in on this SCUM, you know, I'm going to get more SCUM viewers. So I got to make more SCUM videos, because that really is the drive for a lot of my content gets watched when it's SCUM. Nobody cares about coffee chat except you guys. Nobody cares about me talking about AI. Nobody cares about any other game that I play or what I think, or even my vacations, or that my dog Milo is freaking awesome. You know, nothing like that. Nobody really cares about me. They just want to hear, and hey, how do you do this in SCUM? Hey, what's Nord settings changed? That's all they care about. The SCUM. That's really it. But I'm not going to do that, even though I know that if I were to focus just on SCUM, I'd probably get a lot more viewership. But I'm not doing that because I'm not playing the game. It would be false advertising for me to go out there and put out videos for shit that I don't believe in, and for stuff that is like, I have no clue what's happening in it, and I'm not going to lie. It's just not me. And I'm not going to not play the game and just look at the settings and be like, this is how the settings work. I have no idea because I don't play the game, but I know the settings. I'm not going to do that. That's not right. But if you are 100%, all right, 95% of your content, if not a little bit less, is freaking SCUM, and you're doing videos on it and how-tos, and you're freaking playing it day in, day out, and your community is revolved around it, you got to tell me that you are spending more time than just that researching what's going on with the community, what's going on with the game, what's not working out, and being an honest representation of it. Not this bullshit about 6 months later be like, you know, I never really noticed this, guys. I'm being honest. I'm not going to lie. I didn't notice this, but I'm noticing it now. Come on, man. That's bullshit. All right. Asshole's done. That's the part that pisses me off. And dude, if he sees this, I'm sorry, but I would love to have just a one-on-one conversation with Ray. I would love it. And not for views or anything. We could do it off stream if you want, but I would love to just have a conversation, just to understand the thought process, just the mentality of what he really thinks about SCUM. I love it. I would love an honest conversation. Never gonna happen. Yes, I'm nobody. Why would he talk to me? All right. Can I continue? I should. I'm done. I'm sorry. I had a rant.
All the time, and there's a lot of issues with these puppets, and they really do need to be fixed. Now, like I said, it's either completely get rid of the horde system and fix the spawn system, or fix the spawn system on top of the horde system, because the way that the horde system works right now, it's not exactly the best, the way that they spawn on top of you when they respawn back in. And I'm finding that exploder puppets are literally everywhere right now. They used to be kind of one-off, but now they're in virtually every single bunker, they're in every single half moon, they're in every single spawn. And that
isn't even the issue. The issue is how inconsistently they just pop up out of nowhere. They pop up in front of you, on top of you, pop up behind bushes because they haven't really fixed the spawning. How they disappear if you go 50 meters away. How basically when the horde thing triggers, if it's not set 100% accurately, which a lot of people still don't understand the horde settings, you're going to get overrun, and it's like, what the hell am I even playing this? I'm going to get killed immediately when the horde hears me. If they hear me freaking just step on a freaking twig. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of more to it that's broken with the spawning system that they don't really talk about here. The armies, the Raykit army is going to come get me. You know, it wouldn't be anything new, but what I'm saying is, I haven't, again, I can be an asshole and just point out the shit that I don't like when some people, and that's not just Ray Kid. We've watched other people and we're like, can't believe they're saying this. And we can point those things out. It's not anything like bad about the person. Like, again, let me just say this because I know some people are going to be bad. I don't dislike Ray Kid. I learned a lot from him. I think he's a good guy. I know he does what he does because it's his livelihood, and I get it. But there are some times where it's okay to be honest. And I think that's what he's doing now, which I like. I don't know how long it's going to last. I like that he is being honest now. Or I'm going to say he's on his way to the honest approach, because there's some things that is still kind of like holding back on. But I like that. And I think that's a great approach because that's more real. And if you're going to stream, and he doesn't play a character, which is a good thing. If you're going to stream and you're going to be yourself and be honest. It's not about, because you give some criticism about a game, even if you have a listen, I know Brink. If Brink started doing some shitty work out there and I'm like, bro, your designs suck, or like you really are not putting your effort into your work anymore. I mean, what the hell? How can you put this out there? I would tell him that. But I wouldn't, that doesn't mean that I would think Brink is a bad guy, or that I don't like him, or that I'm trying to be mean to him. It would be more like, brother, I know you're better than this. Do your thing. And that's how it is. Just like you guys would probably call me out on stuff. And there's nothing wrong with it. That doesn't mean that's constructive criticism. That's like, hey man, wake up. What are you doing? And so with the devs, even though they're friends or they have a really good 5-year relationship, he should be able to say what he's saying now without anybody getting upset. And it's not insulting. It's not mean. It's not demeaning. It's constructive criticism pointing out, this is broken. Let's fix it. We love the game. Let's play the game again. And that's what it is.
It's becoming quite bad, because it's like, if you get a horde and you take them out and you get a sploder, you blow up, you're limping. Now imagine within that time that you're healing, another spawn spawns in, and then they run up to you, and that's it, you're dead, because you haven't healed yourself in that time. You've gone down to like 5% health, bandaged, and then you get the puppet spawning in again. Now,
see, that's funny, because that's the same situation that you have with the Razor. Remember the Razor characters, the one that have the little baby that's keeping them immortal or whatever it is, and they just pop out of the freaking roof in the abandoned bunkers. Well, that's the same situation with them. If they slice you up, if they like hit you with their blades, you start bleeding. And even if you take them down and you have other puppets coming, you don't have enough time to actually heal up before you actually bleed out. And I've always thought that's a really messed up thing, because once they jump on you, and if you don't take them out right away, it's kind of like that's gonna mess you up. That's, the game's over right there. And so I think it's the same kind of concept there. It almost feels like there's got to be a setting control from like nightmare hardcore mode for like the way the puppets spawn and whatnot, versus, hey, I want to enjoy the game and have an adventure and have some danger around every corner without it freaking being impossible to survive. There should be a setting for that. Not a fairyland setting. I'm just saying a playable setting.
Obviously, this clip I'm showing you here, you can see how the puppet clips through the wall. Now, I kind of expected it to do it. I did actually expect it to kind of go through the wall, but I didn't expect it to happen that fast, and it kind of just threw itself.
Okay, wait a second. So let me pause this for a second. There is glass there, and I think it's not so much that it went through the wall. I think this is a programming error or a glitch where there is glass. This is not an open window. And I'm making an assumption, but I think I'm correct on this one. You know how like they have the capability of now going through windows and opening doors, but let's just talk about windows. I think that programming wise, this is not programmed as a window as a window opening that has a glass. This is programmed as a window, just like all the other windows outside of the bunker that they can jump through. And that's what basically is happening here. I'm going to make that assumption. I think I feel confident in saying that might be one of the issues. And the fact that they're glitching is another one, but I really believe that's there is no difference between a window that has glass and an opening or a window that has no glass. Yeah, that's kind of what I see.
It to kind of go through the wall, but I didn't expect it to happen that fast, and it kind of just threw itself at me.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like this really needs to be fixed. Like this really does need to fix, and I really hope the Game Pie sees this video and understands that.
Oh, they'll see it. I'm sure they've already seen it.
This is a serious thing. Like, I posted a video out the other day, 5,500 views it's had, and the amount of feedback that video has had. I'll post that link down in the description so you can see some of the other faults with the zombies. And I've put the...
But again, see, this is where, I mean, he definitely must be living in a freaking bubble somewhere when it comes to, like, when he turns his stream off, he's done, he's not playing SCUM or something. I don't know. But it's like, the amount of feedback that he's gotten is the same feedback that has been going on for months.
The clips within that video, so go check it out. Just forward through it, you can see it. But I think even though we know that there are issues with the game and it will be fixed in due time, this is getting to a point where it really needs to be sorted out, and it really does. Like I'm saying, you're seeing exploders in every single thing. The spawns are completely broken with the puppets. I personally enjoy the hordes, but only enjoy them when the spawns are fixed on them. Right now, it's not that fun because my arrows are going through puppets, my melee is going through puppets, and I'm getting puppets throwing themselves through walls and jumping down through ceilings and stuff like this. And as you can see in this clip here, it's very frustrating. Okay,
so we get the gist of it, and that's basically what it is. If you followed any more of his videos over the past couple of days, there was one before this one that was kind of like my personal thoughts regarding the SCUM, honest and direct. It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of it's a prelude to what we just saw now. It's like 9 minutes long if you want to see that. And then one of his recent lives that he did, and he's probably live now. Yeah, he is. He actually named it, "Please revert horde system." Here it is. "Please revert horde system until puppets and spawns are fixed." And he started off the whole thing. He talks like for almost an hour about, you know, what's broken and whatnot. It's kind of the same thing. It's all the same. Here's another one. This survival game just needs a little TLC. That's kind of been his mode right now, and we're gonna see what happens. Archery is phenomenal in this survival game. So yeah, well, archery is like the only thing you can really do without getting freaking overrun by hordes. So that's what it is. If you're still playing SCUM, good for you. And just because some of us aren't playing doesn't mean we don't believe in the game. It's just like we're just not willing to go through the frustration right now. Our time is a little more valuable than that. That's all it is. All right, gotta go back to full. Get other things to talk about today. That makes sense because they used to act the same way in front of the windows as they did inside houses before they could jump through. Yeah, it is. It's what the problem is. It's when you're programming something and you create something called a class. It's like a class library, which basically the window is an object. Let's think of it that way. It's just like, let's make believe it's a template. An object is a template. So you have a window template. I'm just going to talk in basic terms so you people understand, and I'm not going to get all programming logic here. This is not the Prime Gaming or the or what's the other guy? Freaking forget his name. Thor. Anyways, so I'm not doing pirate software or whatever, but I'll talk in layman's terms. An object in a class library and programming is like a template. And so let's say you're building a house. And you build a house, the house has like doors, walls, windows. Those would be templates that you create, because obviously you're going to have multiple windows, multiple doors, multiple walls, and then you'll have parts of a roof, whatever. Those are all going to be templates. However, inside of each template, there's going to be like window template. The window's going to have, is it going to have a glass? Is it going to have shutters? Is it going to have bars? Those are all different properties or descriptions or different specific things that window can have. And so in the case of SCUM, they've made, because of the fact that in the early game, you didn't have puppets that can jump through windows or go through doors. They didn't do that. So because of that, they never had to put an if else statement in there. Like, if this window template has glass, they cannot jump through. Basic layman terms. Okay. And so if you're using the same template for a window opening that has glass versus a window opening that doesn't have glass, it's going to react the same with a new system of being able to jump. So their code in layman's terms would probably read something like, if window, in other words, if the puppet is in front of the window, very pseudocode. If the puppet is in front of a window, puppet can jump through the window if the jump through window option is selected. And that's a setting. And so instead of being check if this window has glass or not, and it's not able to break through, that's different. So they don't have that. That's all that is. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not a big change. It's just a matter of, modifying that, could a couple of new if and else systems, or actually modifying that actual template, object, class, library, whatever you want to call it. It's crazy, right? Similar. All right. Two things. Number one, I wanted to play Elden Ring today, which we're going to, but we're going to have to play it on PC. And the bad thing about that is that on the PC, I don't think I've beaten, because I've deleted a lot of my saves. I don't think I've beaten the two characters that I need to beat, the two bosses, in order to go into the DLC. I did that on my PlayStation, and I still have that save. But I don't know if I have that on my other one, because of the fact that their new game, it's NG1, so it's new game plus saves. And when you start over, basically you have to start over. And I think that I would have to go and kill the two guys, and that's probably what we're going to have to do today. Hey, Milo. My dog just came in to see me. What's up, buddy? Hi. How's it going? Like big boy. Okay. Love my puppy. I missed him so much. He was boarding for 7 days. By the way, next time I go on a trip, I need to find somebody to watch my dog. I do not want to put him in boarding anymore. It's not fun, man. I don't like that. Yeah, before they used to phase through the window occasionally, now it's a feature. Yeah, it is. What was I saying? Anyway, so I couldn't connect my PlayStation to my PC. For some reason, this is my Elgato capture card, whatever the hell you want to call this thing. And it's blinking red. And when it blinks red, that means it's not working right. And so I don't know what the hell's going on, but I can't really get my PlayStation to go into the stream. So I'll have to fix that later. So we're going to have to play the PC version. But before we do, I heard it's really freaking hard. I heard that it's people are dying like all the time. I think I have a video. Where's the coffee chat? Is it on coffee chat? No, it's not on coffee chat. I'm missing games and movies. Okay. So this was a clip. How long is this? 4 minutes. This is Asmon Cold's saying playing Elden Ring DLC was a mistake. So I saw this and I had actually watched some of his streams while he was playing it, and man, it is punishing. But he's not the only one that's been freaking struggling with this game. But I mean, people are still moving forward. It's just, it's freaking hard. That's what I'm understanding. I haven't tried it yet, though, by the way. It's just so you know. I do have it for both. So let's see. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to put this up on a big screen.
Come on. All right. Touch withered arm.
So this is the part, by the way, this is where you have to get to this area in order to do this. And right before this area here, or in this area, there's a boss, and you have to kill this boss. But you also have to kill Radam, I think it is, which is the guy that throws these big giant freaking arrows at you. So you got to kill him too before you can get to the DLC. I might have to kill those two guys today. Never played it, not my thing. Yeah, I know. Never liked Elden Ring, but I can see it being too hard. It's definitely, it's a Souls game.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's a Souls game that's not linear.
There's a whole area down there. Yeah, this wasn't even the whole map. Jump? No. I'll fall. It's not going to be a problem. I'm not even mad. Now I feel like there's less pressure on me because I've already died. Oh my god, it's going to take 2 hits? What the fuck is this? What the...
Oh.
We're just going to do this.
Oh my gosh.
No way I'm bad at the game, right?
I've done
I am
so many
fucking
bad
garbage.
deaths like this.
I literally I fucking hate myself. Let's go. Oh my god. Did his health even move? Okay. Running.
You know what's funny about that? Oh my gosh. Hold on, Brick. I gotta talk about what you just said because
Doesn't lose any health. Oh my god.
I'm the first one to admit that's the case for me most of the time.
Jesus. Bro, fuck this guy. Sorry, guy. I'm roaching. I am roaching.
You're fucking washed.
Oh boy. Here we go. Oh.
What?
Damn.
I'm scared.
Wow.
What the hell? Why isn't he raging?
That just insta-kills me.
Guys, he's not raging. I'm ruined.
Man.
Oh, for God's sake, do something, Baldo.
Fuck! Man. That ability really sucks. Damn it!
It's like death after death after death.
Oh my god.
More Baldo. We need more.
Oh, I mean, how do you survive
Way too
this?
aggressive. This is crazy. Like, what a cocksucker that was, huh?
I'm ruined.
Sorry about the language.
Master Miyazaki, I'm begging you. Please help me.
So this is the part where I actually watched this live when he was streaming this, and this particular freaking dragon or whatever the hell it is he was fighting was kicking his ass, and it was just it was so I was like cringing because I was like, I know it's gonna be 10 times worse for me.
Hey.
Easy survive, don't buy. Because not only do you have to worry about the dragon itself or whatever the hell that thing is, but there's also little guys hanging out there. Oh my god, he pressed the button too many times. He took all his potions. So let me ruin the story for you so we don't have to see the end of this, because it's basically, it goes on for another few minutes of the same old stuff. But towards the end, he ends up banning people because people start like saying stupid things like, hey, don't stand in that, or like get good or whatever. They started saying some stupid stuff like just to be trolls. And he's like, yeah, ban them, permanently banned them. He was so frustrated from dying so much over and over that he was just like, yeah, this is bullshit. And then people started like taunting him. So he's like, yeah, you're banned. I'm banning everybody. And he just started banning people. It's hilarious. Oh, it's so bad. Anyways, we got to play this. We just got to play it just because. All right, let me go to the restroom real quick. And then we're going to go ahead and start this. I need my controller. I think I'm going to do controller on this one. I should, right? I should do controller. Ugh. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, because the keyboard wise, I'd have to like change a bunch of my keys. It just doesn't work right. I hope it works. All right, there it is. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go to the restroom and then we're gonna come back and do this. Was there anything else we were supposed to talk about? I can't remember. I don't think so. I don't think there was anything else we were going to talk about. I don't look forward to spending 4 hours of my day watching Nord die in this game. What? That's like the highlight of your day. I mean, I don't think I'll die a lot. Some. I can't remember where. There's a couple of things I have to do in order to get to there. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna have to do it. Come on, we gotta do this. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be fun. Don't worry. It's gonna be fun. We'll see how today goes. How about that? DeepCool situation. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, let me see. Let me see. Content. Before we go over that. Oh yeah, the Adobe bans. That's right. This guy talks about both of them. So let's see if we can just bring this up. Let me pause it before it starts. Okay. So there's two things actually. We'll talk about these two. And you know what we can do is, since we don't like to put gaming into our coffee chats, maybe we'll do the gaming on a separate stream. And I can go to the restroom. I can eat a little bit of a sandwich real quick, and then we can just game. Because we'll do a let's play. All right, let me put this on the side. What time is it? 11 o'clock? Yeah, that gives me a 2-hour coffee chat, and then we'll come back and do some gaming for a couple of hours. So let's watch this video first. So this is actually really good that Callie, by the way, put this on the coffee chat content in Discord. And what's great about this is this talks about two things. It talks about the basically the FTC, I think it is. But was it FTC or FCC? I can't remember which one it is. But anyways, US sues Adobe because of basically the way they're doing things. Just to give you a quick overview, recently Adobe came out letting people know that even when they didn't upload their items, their images up to their cloud system, they were still being uploaded whenever they used their AI tools inside of like Photoshop, for example, because obviously the server is being used at that time. So your images were being uploaded even if you didn't use their cloud system. And the problem with that is that they were saying that they had basically rights to all your images and to be able to use them and even use them for their AI learning language model, whatever the hell it's called. And so the fact that you were paying for this subscription, you were giving them the right to actually do that. Anything you put in your cloud, they can actually see your images, use your images and whatever, which kind of sucked. So a lot of people were upset at that. And then here's where it gets even trickier. When they actually decided to, people decided to cancel their subscriptions, they were now being charged a cancellation fee, which basically included them having to pay out a certain amount of money because they were ending their yearly subscriptions early. And the worst part was that students supposedly were being, because there's a student account, students were being charged like 50% of the remaining balance of their subscriptions in order to cancel out. Pretty bad situation. Yeah. Famous last words. What did I say? All right, so let's watch this for a second. I don't know anything about the DeepCool ban, other than the fact that I think they were doing business in Russia. Let's just a couple of things here. This is really long, so I'm just gonna focus on a couple of the stories. Let's see. Criminal might possess AMD data. No, I don't want to read that one. Let me look for the ones that's specific that I want. So let's look at the Adobe one, which should be about 4 minutes long. And then the DeepCool is, oh, damn, that's pretty long. I don't know how long I want to get on this, but let's watch this one first. Yeah, let's go here. Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, up next, the U.S. sues Adobe over consumer protection issues. The legal complaint was made in regards to alleged violations of the Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act, also known as ROSCA. We have a, I would say complicated, but a simple relationship with Adobe. We give them money, and then we hope they don't screw us over. And that seems to be how it goes for most people. The complaint reads this, quote, "For years, Adobe has harmed consumers by enrolling them in its default, most lucrative subscription plan without clearly disclosing important plan terms. Adobe..."
So, you know, ever since they went to the subscription plan, I really can't stand this. I remember the days where you would buy the pack, whatever it was, the software pack that they came out with, and then they would have like all the different softwares, whether it would be Dreamweaver, Flash, Adobe Acrobat, it would have Photoshop, it would have InDesign, Illustrator, you know, all these products basically that they had. And you would just go and buy it. It would cost you about, I don't know, somewhere around $1,000. Students would probably get it for a little cheaper, but it'd be like $1,000 or $1,200 for the whole suite of software. And then you installed it and you used it and you were done. And if you decided to upgrade the next time they came out with something, then it was great. You know, it was like, all right, so you bought it again, you bought the upgrade, or you bought the new version and you buy the suite again in, you know, in a couple of years or whatever. Well, because of the fact that they kept coming out with new features or new products or changing products or whatever, they went into the subscription model, which now you didn't buy the software as a suite anymore when it came out. The only way that you got it was through a subscription. So you pay for this forever. And that kind of sucked because it's like you're basically tied to a monthly payment for X number of years, depending on how long you use this for. Now, there's two things that I use a great deal. Photoshop, and I used to use Lightroom a lot, but I use Photoshop and Acrobat. Those two I use heavily. But I have all the other ones too. And so I'm paying this monthly subscription to be able to use these features. But it sucks because you'll be paying for this forever. Recently, somebody's cooking something. Recently, I realized that the subscription plan stuff really sucks because of the fact that not only for Adobe, but I just bought a new phone for my daughter this weekend, and I was ordering it on AT&T. And AT&T does not have Apple Care for the iPhones. They have something else. They have some kind of a Pro Advantage plan that basically they replace, you know, it's just like Apple Care, but it's their own. But there isn't a flat rate for 2 years. Like with Apple Care, you have a flat rate for 2 years, or you can pay for it monthly forever. Now, obviously, if you're like me, you're thinking in 2 years, after 2 years, I'll probably change their phone again, who knows, whatever. So you just do the 2-year coverage and hope everything works out okay. And if it breaks after that, you buy a new phone, whatever. But that's the option I used to go with. AT&T doesn't have that option. AT&T has a monthly fee for their Advantage Pro plan, whatever it is. And you are just stuck to paying that $17 a month. Or for 4 phones, you pay $50 a month. And there is no like for 1 year, for 2 years, or whatever. And that's how they're getting you, is these recurring subscriptions, which really sucks. So we're going to keep listening to this Adobe thing, but I'm actually been considering whether or not I want to get off of the whole Adobe ecosystem. I think I might have to. It's getting ridiculous.
Adobe fails to adequately disclose to consumers that by signing up for the annual paid monthly subscription plan, or APM plan, they are agreeing to a year-long commitment and a hefty early termination fee, or ETF. that can amount to hundreds of dollars. Adobe clearly discloses the early termination fee only when subscribers attempt to cancel, turning the stealth.
I didn't know there was an early termination fee. I did not know that. That's crazy. That's like, yeah, it's only when you go to cancel and you're like, oh, by the way, because nobody, no, I don't think anybody reads this part of it.
Termination fee into a powerful retention tool. The complaint continues, quote, during enrollment, Adobe hides material terms of its annual paid monthly plan in fine print and behind optional text boxes and hyperlinks, providing disclosures that are designed to go unnoticed and that most consumers never see, end quote. The U.S. government also states that Adobe makes cancellation arduous, saying, quote, Adobe then deters cancellations by employing an onerous and complicated cancellation process. In a press release, the Justice Department wrote this, quote, Adobe has profited from this hidden fee, misleading consumers about the true costs of a subscription and ambushing them with the fee when they try to cancel.
Yeah, so this is really crappy for a company to do. And if you take Adobe out of this whole situation and just insert whatever other company you want and any other product, if you're paid, let's say for example, I mean, a gym membership will probably be the same thing. If you went through and you bought a gym membership, and then for whatever reason you were moving, maybe they didn't have the gym in your area anymore, your situation changed, there's an early cancellation fee. Like, you can't cancel because you're in a contract for a year. I don't think all gyms do that, but there were some gyms that would do that. So if you went to cancel, which by the way, you had to jump through hoops to cancel that damn thing. And when you went to cancel, then they told you, okay, that's fine, no problem, we understand, but you'll have to pay like 75%, 50 to 75% of the remaining balance for the year. And you're like, what? I mean, like no. But you have to do that because of the fact that that's their early termination fee. It's just like AT&T, it's just like Xfinity has this. I mean, and it's that idea of that you're paying for almost a full remaining balance of the year, but you're not going to use it. It's like you're not getting anything in return. You're just giving them money. So it's as if they're like, well, it sucks, I understand you have to leave, but you still need to pay us. So we're not going to lose out. You just have to pay us. You just don't use it. It really sucks. Columbia House all over again. Yes, with those DVDs and CDs back then. Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Wielding the fee as a powerful retention tool. In the lawsuit, the U.S. government
and by the way, that's perfect. It's a retention tool, which in other words, they tell you, well, you'll still have to pay 50% of it, of the remaining amount, or you might as well just stay. And so of course most people are like, shit, I don't want to just give them money. I guess I'll just stay till the end of the year. So that way, Adobe sees it as it's a win-win. Whether you leave or not, they're still going to get some more money from you. That's messed up.
To put an end to what it calls as Adobe's unlawful conduct and says it's seeking injunctive relief, civil penalties, equitable monetary relief, as well as other relief. Now, this legal complaint from the U.S. government follows news of the Justice Department suing Apple back in March, which alleged the Silicon Valley tech company violated antitrust laws. This news also comes hot on the heels of the Justice Department and the FTC looking into antitrust inquiries regarding NVIDIA, Microsoft, and OpenAI, where they are currently in an investigation phase. So in other words,
I don't know if I'm on board on the whole antitrust thing. Like, I think we had this conversation on our Discord about how NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Microsoft were now being looked at as far as that they were trying to monopolize the AI industry, whatever. And I think what I see is that if the bigger companies can do it right and do it better because they have the resources, and we are in a constant race between us and other countries, I'm like, I have no problem with them doing that because of the fact that I want us to have a better product, a product that's worth it, as opposed to a small company that they're saying, well, you have to make it so that everybody gets to participate and can make some money off of it. Yeah, but if a small company that like puts an AI product out there and they're, well, number one, not supporting it because they don't have the funds to support it, like the people, or two, they basically lose money and they're not making enough money to continue to support it. So then there's no updates. The shit stops working. I mean, how many products have you bought off of like, the Apple Store or some software or some online freaking software that it just never gets updated, it stops working, or it just doesn't get supported anymore with a new version of your OS or whatever. And it's mainly because of the fact that it's a small company that can't continue to support it because they don't have the finances. They go out of business or whatever. And so I don't want to deal with that shit. It's like, if I want to, that's why there's so many AI products right now that you can sign up for, and they're online and they're subscription based or whatever. I don't want to go to any of those because of the fact that I don't know for how long they'll be supported, or they'll be functional, or they'll even be around. Or will they get the next update? Will they be better, or will they fall behind? And then I'm paying for a crappy product. That's why I like to go with the big people. Obviously Adobe, even though we don't want to use them anymore, Microsoft, OpenAI, Google, Apple, freaking Nvidia. Those are the big boys. And they're not going anywhere. And they have the funds to update things, to support things. I don't know. It's different. That's just the way I see it.
The U.S. government is currently in its Oprah phase. You get a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit. Everybody gets a lawsuit.
That's way too
In
many
addition to the lawsuit, Adobe has recently come under fire.
I think what Adobe is doing, though, is wrong. I think this is a lawsuit that does definitely need to happen. This is the type of stuff that the government should be going after. It's people that are taking advantage of their consumers. Yes, absolutely.
For its updated terms of service, which allow Adobe to analyze users' content, quote, using techniques such as machine learning, end quote, to improve its software and services. In a blog post, Adobe writes, quote, you always have the option of opting out of our desktop product improvement programs. But, as Right to Repair activist Louis Rossman pointed out, the only visible options at that time, at least, to proceed to access your content are to accept and continue. So there's another factor of this too, which is Adobe's cloud services. We don't use Adobe Cloud. We would very strongly recommend that you don't either if you use Adobe for anything. And we've just never been comfortable with it, and this is exactly why. Their license page says under Section A of 4.3, license to cloud content to operate the services and software on your behalf, solely for the purpose of operating the services and software on your behalf, and subject to Section 4.2 ownership, above which states that in all cases you own your content, you grant us a non-exclusive worldwide royalty-free license to do the following with your cloud content.
It's funny that more and more we need to start reading these terms of agreements. We do. We need to read these terms. We do. And a lot of people don't read these. And I think more and more as we're moving along, especially with AI stuff and these types of programs and whatnot, we need to read it because of the fact that we don't know what we're signing up for. There's like, look at this shiny thing over here, and then you sign up, but you don't read the freaking in between the lines or the fine print or anything like that. I recently watched Wonka. I've never seen it before, and I watched this while I was on the cruise. They had it playing in one of the theaters. And there was a part in it, not to spoil anything, but there was a part in it where he signed a contract, but he doesn't know how to read. He's never read. He's focused on chocolate making. And so there's this huge fine print, and he pretends to read it, and he doesn't. And he just signs it, and he ends up getting himself screwed over because there was so much stuff in there that he had no idea about. Something that would have cost him like one, what did they call it? Was it 1 shilling? I don't know what the coin was, but it was it would have only cost 1 coin, and it costing him like 10,000. So it's like ridiculous. But yeah, we need to start reading freaking terms of service and all that. Terms, agreements, terms of service, whatever it is that you're signing up for.
Reproduce, distribute, create derivative works, publicly display, publicly perform, and sublicense. Over the years, we've encountered a lot of companies that have claimed terms like this, where they've tried to assert some level of not technically ownership of, but usage rights and licensing to content from creators. So there have been numerous ad contracts where I've shot them down entirely outright because they wanted the rights to, not even wanted, it was like written in a contract. They wanted the rights to republish and use content, which is like secondary advertising. It could be twisted any number of ways. And so we obviously say no. And if they...
Yeah, that's the other thing, that whenever you sign with an advertising company, you got to be careful if they're going to reuse your stuff. There's so many little loopholes here and there. Give me a second, guys. I got to step out for a second.
don't agree, then we tell them to go f themselves. But that's how we feel here too, because with Adobe, it is both charging for a service, and then if you use it extensively, charging for cloud storage, and then using the stuff you put there to profit off of it in a tertiary way. It's brilliant in the most evil, draconian, future dystopian way, because it's like, it's 3 layers deep of how do we make money off of this one guy over here, and then use that to sell stuff to other people while still selling stuff to him without paying a license for the stuff. It's insane. Anyway, looking forward to seeing how this progresses. All of this licensing stuff is separate from the U.S. Justice Department and that lawsuit, which that one is about the subscription terms and cancellation. So we'll see how it goes. Sometimes there's a lot of cynicism about big corporations only get a slap on the wrist. Sometimes it's definitely true, absolutely. Other times, though, I mean, the fines for FTC warranty violations, in the case of, I think it was Harley Davidson, they can go as high as like $47,000 per instance of certain violations, to the extent that you were definitely losing money on each customer that fine is applied to. So it really depends how aggressive they want to be. 100%, sometimes it can just be a slap on the wrist and feels like not enough, or the company has profited more than they'll ever pay in penalties for the violation. But it really depends. Sometimes it is harsh enough to actually make a difference. So we'll see. They'll have to go through the court system first. Up next is
Okay. So I'm just fine. My wife isn't feeling well. She was getting a cold yesterday, and now today thought she was a little better this morning, but it's taking a turn for the worse. So I'm going to, there's a transcript to this thing, right? Let me see. So where is this? A 16? Yeah, 16, about 15, 1600. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to summarize this because I haven't had a chance to watch this video yet. It's in its entirety. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to grab this, and I think this should take me to, oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to copy that. All right, I'm just going to get a summary of this, and then we're going to just read through it instead of watching this guy's video. But gotta love ChatGPT, man. All right, this is great. So we went ahead and summarized this. We're gonna just read through this, and then we can talk about it if anybody has any comments on this whatsoever. I'm not familiar with this actual story. Callie did post this up. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing. It was a pretty long video for me to get through. So let's go ahead and see what we got. All right. First things first. People forgot the Columbia House destroyed kids' credit too. Yeah, they did, because they would just order all these CDs for like a penny, and they thought they'd never have to pay anything, and instead they didn't know they were signing up for a subscription, and it screwed their credit up. It's true. There was an indie dev who tested that years ago. I think his software was free, and he threw a line in there that said clicking agree would give him your firstborn. Yeah, some people get crazy with stuff like that, and it's creepy, but it's true. You can really need to read terms of service. All right, so the DeepCool issue is that DeepCool is subsidiary of Beijing DeepCool Industry Company Limited, has been added to the U.S. sanctions list. Gamers Nexus, not experts in sanctions law, hired a Washington, D.C. based firm for consultation. The firm provided background information and explained the sanctions are part of a U.S. effort to degrade Russia's wartime economy. Beijing DeepCool is accused of supplying over $1 million worth of CHPL items. I don't know what CHPL is. That stands for something. To Russian companies, leading to its inclusion on the sanctions list. The U.S. subsidiary of DeepCool is directly affected, meaning U.S. businesses can no longer engage with them post July 27th following a wind down period. Oh, damn. What's going on, Troy? Good to see you. Let's see. Gamers Nexus spoke to several U.S. based system integrators who reported plans to destroy or refuse DeepCool inventory to avoid legal repercussions. The sanctions also mean the closure of DeepCool's U.S. based subsidiary and unemployment for its staff. That is crazy. DeepCool's recent advertising relationships with Gamers Nexus has ended, and the company's future appears uncertain. The report concludes that while efforts to gather more information will continue, the current outlook for DeepCool is bleak due to the loss of business and potential financial overextension. Wow. Certified health IT products. Oh, okay, thanks. Nice. Yeah, so basically what they're trying to do is limit Russia's economy so it starts it doesn't have as much money to continue this war that's going on. We don't talk about war too much here on the stream, so I'm trying to dance around this conversation, but basically, so I guess DeepCool is just getting into trouble here, and now you can no longer. Now is DeepCool is the one that makes the I think I have them. Are they the ones that do the or am I thinking it's a different one? No, I don't even know what's the product that they have. I don't know. It sounds really familiar. Yeah, it's the cooling products for the that's what I thought it was. It's the cooling products for your computers. Number one. I mean, I have other products, I'm sure, but yeah, that's what it is. I mean, I'm looking at them right here. It's messed up. That's crazy. So that sucks for them, man. That's what you get, though. Who was the company that during the wartime? I think IBM was one of the ones that was like working with during wartime. I can't remember. I gotta catch up on my history. Water coolers, cases, etc. Yes, that's right. Good to see you back. How was vacation? It was good. It was okay. I mean, I was happy to be home. 7 days on a cruise. I went on a cruise. 7 days on a cruise is way too long. 5 days is good for me. But it was good. It was a nice wind down time, kind of refresh my mind, figure where I want to put my priorities into, things like that. I figure this week, I'm going to try for this week. I'm going to try to stream every day, and I'm going to start at 9 in the morning, and then we'll go for a couple of hours and see how it goes. And I'll try to go longer on a couple of days. So one of the things I want to do, I'm saying a lot today, is I wanted to play Elden Ring, and I was going to start a let's play session after this stream. I wanted to do it immediately now, but I need to go check on my wife because she's not feeling well. Yeah, a 4 or 5 day cruise is enough. Exactly. I agree. So I don't, I think I'm going to have to hold off on the playing for a couple of hours and then come back later. Or we can do a nighttime one. Either way, I'm streaming tomorrow too. I don't do cruises on plague ships. You always come home sick. It's a funny thing. I'm fine. Like I did not, I think my wife wouldn't have gotten sick, but I think one of my daughters got sick and that's what happened. And the problem is that, teens or young adults are the ones that are out and about more often on a ship, and they don't, like, my wife and I are very good at washing our hands, yeah, you know, before we eat, before we do anything, constantly washing our hands and like being very careful with that. When it comes to like teens or young people, they feel whatever. So they don't really think about that. And so they're touching everything. And that's the other thing. I don't touch handrails. I don't touch freaking doorknobs. And one of the best things about this whole let me close this out. Sorry. One of the best things about this whole cruise, this new cruise ship, is that everything is touchless. Like most of the stuff. Like, for example, opening the bathroom doors, all you had to do was wave your hand in front of a button. It was like a hand wave. You just waved your hand and the door would open. And then you walked in. You went over to your stall. Excuse me. Use your stall, whatever. Walked out. Washed your hands. You didn't have to touch any knobs. You just put your hands underneath the water faucet. Water faucet starts going. The soap comes out on its own. You wash your hands. You grab your paper towel. Dry your hands out. You go to walk out, wave at the little door sign, door opens. And so there's no touching whatsoever. The only thing that you did touch was there were screens. There were multiple screens. There was like 4 or 5 screens. I think it was 4 of them outside of the elevators, like in the waiting area between like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There were like probably about 12 elevators. I'd say 10 to 12 elevators on each side of the ship, and they had these screens that had the elevator numbers outside of the elevators in the waiting area, and you would walk up and you would just punch the number where you wanted to go to. Like, let's say I was going to go to floor deck 5, so I would touch 5, and then it would tell me which one of those elevators was the one I was going to get on. And so then I would go stand in front of that elevator. It would open. I would go in, and then it would take me to the floor, and I would get off, and that's it. I didn't have to press any buttons inside of the elevators, which is actually kind of good, but you're still touching that screen outside. Even though it's not a button, it's still a screen. So that's, you know, I'm sure they wipe down the screens, but still, that's the only part. Now I don't touch handrails. I don't touch doorknobs. I don't touch walls. I try to keep my hands off of that stuff. But my daughters obviously aren't the same way. And I believe they were drinking off of my wife brought a water bottle with her, you know, with one of the big giant cups. What are they called? Stanley cups, whatever they are. And they would drink from hers. So one of them got sick. And I think she gave it to my wife, basically. That kind of sucked. Yeah, like you're in your house, your blinds open automatically. Nice. Yeah. My lights turn on. My lights in my house turn on without me touching a switch. Thank goodness. I just got to remember to say, hey, turn off. I carry these hand sanitizer sprays I bought in Japan. Love them. Yeah, we always carry hand sanitizer with us. And that's why we're constantly. But unfortunately, yeah, I think the girls got my wife sick. That sucks. I'm fine. I didn't get sick. I didn't get anything. I did get a really bad headache one day because I was out in the sun and I didn't drink any water. We were out in the sun a lot. And then also, I didn't drink any water and I didn't drink any coffee that day. And we got back. I had my first migraine. I've never had a migraine in my life. This was the first time I've ever had one. And it was really bad. It was so bad that I was standing in line. I was like going to go to the room and like lay down and just rest, but I was hungry. And so I'm like, I'm going to get some pizza. And so I stood in line to get some pizza, and while I'm in line waiting to get the pizza, I was like, my head was just like, I honestly felt like my head was going to explode. It was like, boom, boom, boom. And I was like, oh my gosh, my head's going to explode. I'm going to fall down on the floor here. What's going to happen? Who's going to grab my phone? And so I couldn't even wait for the pizza. I'm like, forget it, I'm going back to the room. And I went back up to the room. I took some ibuprofen, drank some water, and I just laid down and went to sleep. And it was really bad, man. It was what's the word? Debilitating? Yeah, it was bad. And I slept the whole night and woke up the next day and I was fine. What do you mean sick though? Infection? No, sick as in a cough. Like she got a cold. She thinks it's COVID. I don't think it's COVID. But she's like feeling like her body aches, might have a little bit of fever. And she kind of like flu. Yeah, flu-like symptoms. Well, if it was a cruise, she probably got sick of Nort. Nice. I was no, she wanted to spend time with me. I would like I so I go to every time I go on the ship, I always do the art gallery, not the art gallery, the art auctions. And when I go to the art auction, it's like for 2 hours. So I'm like gone for 2 hours. And she doesn't like those, so she never comes with me. And yeah, so like I go and I just sit through all the art auctions, and if I find something that I like, I end up getting it. But so when I go for 2 hours, she gets upset. And so a couple of days I was like, all right, I'm doing nothing else but hanging out with you today. So that I would just go with her, and she just likes to sit out and read her book, sit out getting some fresh air. Me, I wanted to stay indoors. I wanted to stay in the air conditioning. Yeah, I didn't want to do anything else. So I'm trying to see if I can find. I don't. By the way, this guy here, this guy's called Peter Max. I do not like this art, but this is a guy supposedly was friends with Andy Warhol, and it's let me see if I can, let me find a one that is famous or something. Okay, yeah, that's probably this one right here. If I can get the light not to shine on it. Ah, crap, it's too shiny. Sorry, there. That's not my type of art. I do not like this art. This guy's called Peter Max. He's been around. I don't really like this. But they go for so much money. They're freaking expensive as hell. My Japan travel has been suspended because they have a new strain of strep that has killed 97 people so far. Holy crap. Yeah, no, don't go there. At this time you get a cold pretty easy. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really hard. Boss put a hammer down which I appreciate. Yeah, do not go there. Don't want you getting sick. You get a cold just by drinking cold in the morning. Does that happen to you guys? It happens to me if I switch environments. Like if I'm in a cold environment, then I'm in a hot environment, then I feel like I feel sick. Like it's really weird. When I'm on a cruise, I'm either eating or sitting on my patio. Yeah. That's pretty much me too. I'm like, I find a spot to sit in and I sit in there and I just watch people walk by. I go eat something, I come back and sit down, I enjoy myself. I go to the shows and then that's it. I wanted to show you something else here on this. It was an item. I mean, it was ridiculous. Some of these things were selling for like tens of thousands of dollars, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Not my thing. Sorry. I did buy a couple of pieces, but smaller pieces. I got a Michael Cheval, which is I can find it. It's probably in here somewhere. Tell you what, let me bring it up. I'll show you what I got. There's two pieces that how did I buy? I bought 3 pieces, I think. Let me see if I can find it. So I had collected something called the Enigma before, which is this one here. I'll bring it up on the big screen. It's like 8 by 10, I think it is. It's this one here. This is the Enigma. And I really like that one a lot. And so I went to get a different one. So I saw this one. Let me see if I can get an image of it up. So yeah, so I got this one this time. It's about the same size. I think it's 8 by 10, but it's 10 by 8. Obviously, this is not the price of it, $33.99. This is just a print. So I got an actual, it's on like metal or whatever, and it's signed, numbered, whatever. It's not that expensive, but it comes framed and all that. But it's definitely not $33.99. So I picked that one up. And then I also got let me see if I can find it. And this one was really inexpensive. but I wanted it for my room. Is it Nocturnus? Let's see if I can find it. This one, I couldn't find this one. This is really hard to find. For some reason, I couldn't find this online. I had to like go to the gallery itself because it doesn't come up on any of the searches. So this one here. So I picked that one up too. It's called Nocturnus. It's 20 and a quarter inches by 10 inches. So it's kind of long wise. It goes in one of the rooms that I have. So I wanted that. One more, and then I got something stupid. So let's see if I can find this one. It's called, okay, you're gonna make fun of me now. I know it. Let's see. I got this stupid thing just because I'm, oh damn it, it's not here. Animation. Yeah, animation art. Okay. So how come I can't find it? Oh my god, it's not here. Damn it, where is it? Jeez, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm a Looney Tunes fan, and so I ended up getting this. It wasn't expensive at all, and I was like, I want that. I just think it's cute. I don't know. I like all the Looney Tune characters are there. So these are the only ones I got. I wanted to get one by a artist that I really like. He's called Pino, but the lowest price I can get on it was like $2,400, and I'm like, hell no. I don't feel like spending $2,400 on that. I spent less than. Oh wait, I did get one other one. You guys would like this one. Let me find it. I got one more because I have 3 of this. Pat McGannis, is it? Let me see. Pat's. I think the guy's name is Pat McGannis. Let's see if I can find his work. Pat McGannis. Is it Pat? McManus. Sorry, McManus. That's his name. So this guy does wolves. He does really wildlife, and I'll show you some of his stuff. I'll tell you which ones I have. I think I showed this to you before. So I have this one. I got this last time. I had 3 last time. I got this one, which was, I forgot what it was called. Something company. I had this one, and they're up here. I also have the Raven one. Let's see, where's the Raven? There's Wolf with Raven. Pat McGinnis. Let me write Raven and see if it comes up. Yeah, I have this one. And so I just picked up Give me one second. I'm trying to find a good copy of it. All right, those colors are not. I just picked this one up. The colors are wrong on this one. It's not that blue. That's the Wild and Wary. So I picked that one up. Really nice. So that's what I got. So I didn't spend a lot. I think I spent well under $1,000 on all those pieces. So I was good. Let's see. I really want to do a Viking River cruise in Europe and Wild Alaska one. Yeah, so there's 2 cruises that I want to do. I want to do the Alaska one, but that's the one where you really have to have the time to do, because it's there is a one that you do, half of it is on the ship and half of it is on the shore. So it's like a land and cruise package. So you do like 7 days on the ship, 7 days on land. And so I want to do that one for sure. So it's like a 14-day trip or a 14-day excursion, whatever. So we want to do that one. And then as far as the Viking River cruise, there is one that I want to do that goes, I believe it goes to Norway. and it does go down a river. I can't remember which river. Yeah, that is another one I want to do as well. So it does have a lot of good ones. You like that one? Oh, I missed. Which one did you like, Hyde? There's so many good ones. I love all this Pac guy, Pac McCannis. I forget his freaking name. Anyway, he's good. I have to get those framed. I haven't gotten those framed yet. Have you seen the Mandela effect on the Looney Tunes? No, I have not. Only artist I want anything from is Jaw Cooper, but her stuff sells out instantly most of the time, or at least the pieces I like. How do you remember Looney Tunes or Looney Tunes? I remember Looney Tunes as in Toons. And it's funny because a lot of times when we were playing like MMOs, I would say tune. The tune, Toon, is your character. And so whenever I refer to any of my characters that I played, I would always refer to them as tunes. So yeah, I always remember Looney Tunes, Toons. But is it Looney Tunes? Tunes? It probably is. Which is it? Oh shit, now I don't know. I thought it was Tunes. I think of Tunes as in Toon, but I think you're right. I think it's Looney Tunes. Oh shit, it is. It is Tunes. It's Tunes as in the sound, but I always remember it as Tunes, Toon. Yeah, you're right. Little Baby and the Red Abstract. Oh yeah, the Red Abstract is really nice. I like that one. And the little baby cub. Yeah, those are nice. I have them up here. I have the big one up there. I have to get a frame for them. But with these, you have to get like acid-free, like matting and all that. Plus, I don't have any wall space right now. But look, that's this one. You know what? If I don't put it up anywhere, maybe I might send this to Hyde. If I end up not putting them up this year, yeah, I might end up just going, here you go, Hyde. And by the way, it's not this, I got to bring it back a little bit. So you can see it's not washed out. It actually is nice coloring. It's just the camera lighting right now is washing it out. But yeah, that's what it is. Here's this one. It looks like Milo, the way Milo lays down. So you think they changed it? It used to be Tunes and they changed it to Tunes? Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Is it like we're losing our minds? Like was it always Tunes or was it Tunes? And then this was the Raven one. I really like. This is one of my favorites. Let's see if I can do this. Look at that. Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. They're signed and numbered. There's a lot of this one. Like there's 2,250 of these were made. One of these, this one only 250 of these were made. And the other one was also the Cub one is like 2,250 of those were made. Also, when you attend one of these art auctions on the cruise ship, they give you free art. So they gave me this. This was free. It's also like stamped, signed. I don't know. It's not. It's probably like worth $30 or something. And I got two other small ones that are somewhere there. Now, I don't get my new stuff for another 8 weeks, I think. It takes a long time. It takes like 2 months before you get your stuff. But it is what it is. They changed it to Tunes. It was actually Toon and they changed it to Tunes. Oh, interesting. There are a couple of things that have been changed that people know it wasn't like that. It is very true. I've heard that conversation that there are things that have changed over the years, and we now question it. Like, wait, was it always like that? And like you're like kind of like it's almost like you're gaslight. Somebody's gaslighting you. It's like, no, it's always been that. And you're like, no, it hasn't. It was always tunes because they were actually called silly symphonies. Huh. Speaking of the trippy stuff, get caught up with the Dark Matter, bro. So I've been watching Dark Matter. Freaking Brink got me into that. And I've been watching them. I have not watched a recent episode. I was going to watch it last night, but my wife was watching something else. So I ended up watching, I watched a movie last night. What was it? The Covenant, with Guy Ritchie's Covenant with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was actually pretty good, man. So then it became Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes. Oh, so it is. I don't know. See, I'm so confused. The confusion came from the Tiny Toons cartoons. Oh, that's some nice art. Thanks, man. I think you're right, Hyde. The confusion comes from the tunes is in the cartoons. I've always been confused with that, but I always call them tunes. I don't know which is which. So on the boat, they had some Salvador Dali's and some Rembrandts. The Rembrandts were going for like $183,000. I'm like, yeah, no. Thank you. No. And some of the Dalis were like, I don't know, 7,000, 14,000 and up. They were different. And they just weren't my thing. The thing with Salvador Dali that I've always been worried about is that there was about a decade ago, there was conversation that, and I don't know if this was rumor or if it was true or not, but the fact that it was just out there kind of made me hesitant. But they said that during his latter years, and I'm sure he's passed away by now, during his latter years, did he pass away? He has passed away, right? Let's double check. I don't want to call somebody dead and they're not. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, no, he's still alive. He's like 500 years old. No, yeah, he died in 1989. But anyways, one of the things that I heard was in his later years, he had lost a lot of lost his mind, and he wasn't all up there. And a lot of people were doing like similar art to his and putting it across. Like it wasn't him painting that. It was somebody else, and they were just putting it in front of him, and he would sign it. He would sign anything. And so I don't know if that was 100% true or not, but it was rumored that there may have been some items out there that are not really Dali's, but he signed them because in his later years, he was kind of losing his mind. And that was a rumor. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's kind of what I heard. And so ever since then, I'm like, I don't collect. Dali's not really my thing anyways. But yeah, I just, no, I wouldn't spend the money if I had it. The whole Space Jam stuff in the Toon Squad and people, oh, you guys still talking about Looney Tunes? You guys are a bunch of Looney Tunes. Covenant was a great movie. It was. I really liked it. I really was hesitant because I had tried to watch it before, and I don't know if I read a review or something, but I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good. And then I watched it last night, and I was like, wow. That was a really good movie. And it was really heartfelt because of the fact that you can relate to that is actually something that was happening. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You guys have to watch it for yourself, but it's a good movie. Dali was not a good person, much like I don't buy Chanel, not only because I'm cheap and basically because I'm not a fan of Coco. Yep. I can understand that. Like I'm not, like I said, I just think he was odd. None of his art ever appealed to me. It's still not. There's nothing that he's made that I'm like, oh, I gotta have that. But there were several Salvador Dali pieces there on the ship. I don't know if there was a guy that was buying a lot of stuff. There was this one guy called Ashton Howard, and he does some pretty crazy stuff. I gotta show you some of this stuff. Also, these are some of the Dalis which were there. I don't know. I can't get close enough with this freaking light. I have to shut the light off. There you go. It's not my type of art. It's just not my thing. There's a lot of different artists. Anyways, if you're into art. So if you are into art, on any cruise ship that you go to that's Royal Caribbean or Celebrity, they usually have art auctions, and that you can go to them. You don't have to necessarily buy anything, but the great thing about it is that it's run by a company called Park West, or it's museum. They have a museum in South Michigan. And the great thing about them is that they believe that art should belong to everyone, or art is something that everyone can collect. And what they mean by that is that you don't have to be rich in order to own any art. Obviously, you can't get all art because some art is really expensive, but there are some pieces that people can buy. So they have pieces that start the bidding from like $20, and you can get, for under $100, you can get a good piece of art. Honestly, that red one, I got that for $99. I was bidding against someone else, and I think they started the bidding at like, I don't know, like $50 or something. And I'm like, I like it. I wanted to put it up in my living room. And so I started bidding on it, and we kept going up, and we got to like, I think we were up to like 190 or something, and we were heading towards the 200. And then the guy said, you know what? Because we kept going back and forth. It was every 10, I would say 50, then 60, 70, 80, 90. And we kept going back and forth. And I really wanted it. And so then the guy ended up saying, you know what? Let's roll back the price, because there were multiple people that wanted it. And then he says, anybody that wants, if you guys want it, we're going to roll back the price. Each of you will get it for $99. And I was like, I'll take it. So that's what I ended up getting. And so that's it. So it wasn't an expensive piece. Now, if you were to appraise it, it appraises for a lot more. Not for a lot more, but it does appraise for more. So that's the thing. You have to be rich to own my art. Yes, that is confirmed. To own Brink's art, you have to be really rich. It's really hard. It's expensive. I have one of his art pieces. I'm still trying to recuperate my college fund because of it. But anyway, so you can get any art, really. There's some low end art, there's some higher end art. It all depends. I would love to own a Bob Ross original. How much are Bob Ross originals going for? There is a guy here, if I can find his name, that he was a surfer, and he got, is this the one? No, this is not him. He was a surfer that got attacked by a shark, and while he was recuperating, or while he was in rehab or whatever, he actually took up painting because he started watching Bob Ross, and then he started painting. That was his thing. And he did some great stuff on wood. And if I can find him here, I will tell you his name. But he was inspired by Bob Ross. And he did some great scenes. And what he did was he would paint on wood, and he would use the wood grain as part of the actual piece itself. Let me find it. I know it's in here. He's part of this. Is this the one? Yeah, his name, is this him? Why doesn't this does not sound familiar? Is this him? Let's look him up. Oh, I'm looking him up. Hold on. Yeah, this is him. Let's see if I could find his artwork. All right, this is it. Mona Lisa by Brink One. Nice. I get paid happy trees all day. Or was it Da Vinci? It was Brink. Don't tell him. Da Vinci stole the idea from Brink. Brink is timeless. Wait, am I in the wrong month? Damn it. Sorry, show and tell. This here. So, can I make this bigger? Yeah. So this was see how he used a wood grain. A lot of this stuff, if you look at his other things, that's all wood grain back there. So it's on wood, and he incorporates that into his actual art itself. So this is a guy that was, if I'm not mistaken, this is the guy that was watching Bob Ross and then decided he wanted to paint also. Happy trees. Bob Ross is my work focus watch if I am not in the mood for music. Well, it's the way he speaks. It's like he's so soothing. That's the thing with Bob Ross. Is like just the way he speaks is so soothing. Da Vinci bit my style. Yep. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I was looking up for prices for Bob Ross art. Holy crap. Let me close this for a second. This is opening up here. I believe this is correct. Let me bring this up. Nord is my anti-work focus watch. Thanks, man. I know. I keep you busy. I'm trying. Listen, I'll be letting you go soon so you can get focused on your work in a few minutes. Let me send this over to... Is this the right one? Yeah, good. I didn't switch. All right, perfect. This is Bob Ross Originals. This one here is $50,000. The first one is $12,450. Price on request. Oh, that means it's expensive. A lot of these are sold. And these are all sold. Sold. Okay, so hi, there is one available for $50,000. And there's another one for $12,450. There you go. Oh, good stuff. I can paint you a Bob Ross. Don't worry. Hey, I can have AI do a Bob Ross for you. Oh man, I know you don't like. I know. Stop it. His verified work is hard to find. I can imagine. I was into art when I'm young until I was at a school outing in a cathedral and I saw the amazing art all around. Imagine how hard to paint that like that. That's the thing. You know, I have this kind of thought a lot about what is considered good art or what is considered art and what is not. And the truth of the matter is that it's so... It doesn't have to be so like selective as in this is art, that's not. I think everything that's created is art, including like throughout the stream, you've been seeing all these images flashing behind us. And by the way, I finally fixed the whiteness and the exposure on the camera so you can actually see it. At night, you can really see these really well. But like this, yeah, behind me is digital AI art. You know, it is digital, it's graphic, whatever. It's still considered art. You know, and like, for example, I know a girl that paints beautiful wedding murals and wedding pictures, and she does a great job. She does amazing work. But then that doesn't mean that somebody that does something like this guy here, what's his name, Brito? I think it's Brito. Yeah, like this guy here, Romero Brito. I believe he's Brazilian. And if you look at this work, you'll be like, that's like anybody can do that. Yeah, well, that's true. Let's see if I can get a good one. The Mona Lisa cat. Oh, I gotta get this bigger. Hold on so I can see this. So like this guy's work. Now this stuff sells for thousands and thousands of dollars. And I look at this and I'm like, oh, but it's his art. It's crazy. But that sells, man. They actually he makes statues also, and people were buying them like crazy on the ship. As I recall, Bob Ross's family opposes selling them because if you got one, it was a gift. Oh, really? That's amazing. Nord, if you want a commission piece, the price is $10 multiplied by the number of times you make fun of me for Star Citizen. Ah, shit. That's way too expensive, man. That just put me out of budget. So I definitely can't afford your art. It's the most realistic you can paint. It's the best. Like when you see a person painted, you'll mistake it for a real person. Really? In a cathedral? Wow. Yeah, there's some crazy art I've seen that I'm like, that looks like a photograph. I have a piece that's in my hallway. It's by a guy named Charles Frace, I think, or Frace, and it's wildlife. It's a lynx. It's a baby lynx. I should bring it over so you guys can see it. And it's a painting, but it looks like a photograph. And I'm just like, I don't understand. It's insane. I've seen somebody do some pencil work. I forgot her name. She does some pencil work with colored pencils, and she does portraits of people, and they look like photographs. I was just like, I don't know how someone has a skill to actually. It's crazy. How do you develop that skill? I don't hate AI. It's art and gorgeous. Yeah, it is. By the way, I've never shied away from this, but I love AI art. You guys know that. Oh, I know. My AI art to me is like Brink and Star Citizen. That's how it is. And I enjoy it. It's digital art, it's graphic art, and there is a composition to it, and it's not just randomly bringing out stuff. I mean, there are people that do that, but I don't. And I really enjoy working on it. Like I'm working on a set right now of women playing musical instruments in a vintage oil painting style. And I recently decided that I want to print out some of these for me to hang or for me to give as gifts or even to sell if I wanted to. I'm a little bit more apprehensive about selling printed AI art because of some people still look down on it, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So I decided to invest in a printer. And I will be coming this week, and when I get it, we're going to set it up. And it's like a huge beast of a printer in order to print out my beautiful art. But I just enjoy it. And I've been reading the Midjourney magazine, and there's like, hold on. Like I get this Midjourney magazine every month, right? And yeah, it's got a bunch of different AI art in it. But what I love is the articles. When there's an article in it, and they ask the artist, because that's what they are. They call them an AI artist from Portugal. How do you take what inspires you and creates a style that is your own? And so this is what they answered. So I'm just going to read this. That's a great question. When I draw inspiration from things like anime, movies, and books, and especially those in the fantasy and sci-fi genre, I focus on blending elements that resonate with me. For example, the vibrant colors and the dynamic expressions in anime, the epic storytelling visuals from movies, and the imaginative worlds found in books with a touch of realism. By merging these influences, I develop a style that feels fresh yet familiar, but truly unique to myself. You see? I mean, and that is, if you think about it, anybody that's, whether they're painting, drawing, or using, Photoshop, whatever, to create, it's kind of like, that is the way they create. It's by being influenced by things around you or by other art. I'll read this. I'm going to read another part of that in a moment to you. Let me read it. I'm kind of missing something you guys are talking about. Oh, time for my rounds here on the farm. All right, man, Callie, take care. Nice seeing you, brother. And thanks for contributing the content. I still just want AI to take over my housework so I can work, so I can art. Nice. Oh, unfortunately, somebody named it best. It's like our AI is never gonna not. Our AI currently is not gonna take over. It's basically just learning from us and everything that we have available to it, and it's not doing anything on its own. It's like even when you give it a problem, like a math problem, it's solving the math not because it's like a freaking super smart computer, but it's looking at everything that's ever been written about how to solve that problem, and it knows because it read it somewhere, and so it goes ahead and solves it that way. But it's because it learned that. It's not because it has access to that information that's available to it. It's not because it's intuitive and it's like, oh yeah, this is the equation right here. You know, I think that's what's a little different. It knows how to paint something because it learned how to paint it from looking at other paintings. So I'd rather have the AI people focus on making house cleaning AI less artsy, more house cleaning AI. There's the Roomba. You can get the $500 one that you can map out the rooms. It's a gift, not a skill. Yeah, I guess it is. But can you develop that? Can you develop the drawing skill? Some people are born with a gift. It's true. Heads up, using engineering and architect printing at FedEx makes cheap posters. The only thing I've worried about making like using even Walgreens or Costco or CVS or Staples or whatever that actually print out posters for you is I've learned for printing artwork, there's two types of ink that's used. There's the dye ink and then there's the pigment ink. I think that's what it's called. And the little bit that I understand of this is that the dye ink does not last as long as the pigment ink. And also the type of paper that is used makes a huge difference also. Obviously, you guys know this from printing. But so it's like I remember because like 20 years ago or whatever, almost 20 years ago, or 15 to 20 years ago when I took pictures of my daughter and I printed them out on a photo printer with the photo print ink, whatever, they're fading out now, and so it's like, oh, what the hell? So you have to make sure wherever you're printing that they're using ink that's going to last for a very, very long time. And also you want to print it on good paper that's going to also come out with bright colors. And one of the most important things that I didn't realize, well, I did realize, but I didn't realize with artifact, like with little statues, that this was important, is direct sunlight really does freaking harm any artwork, obviously. But I didn't know that was the case for little ceramic things. And I had a collection of, I forgot what they're called. They're teddy bears that are in different, I should show them to you one day. Cherished teddies, that's what they're called. And they're little teddy bears that are in different outfits based for different events and things like that. And you give them as gifts for graduation, for birthdays, whatever. And I had given when my wife and I were dating, I bought her a bunch. I gave her like 20 of them, and she has the whole bunch of collection back there, and she keeps it in her reading room. Well, I realized that there was some that was directly hitting the shelf or whatever that she has them displaying on, and they are actually, some of the colors have faded out on some of them. And I'm like, oh, I'm so pissed. But obviously you can't retouch them. Maybe you can, but it just wouldn't be original anymore. It's how I print all my artwork. The FedEx, yeah, they make cheap posters. I do, like, I've got a couple of posters here from the work that I've done. One of my favorites is the Daniel and the Lion. I have that one up there. I think I've shown it to you guys before, and I printed that out at Walgreens, and it's freaking beautiful, and it's amazing quality. It's hanging in a frame on my wall over there. Not a fan of Shutterfly. Yeah, I've never used them. Make me a robot to mop my damn floors and not a Roomba. My Roomba has a death wish. Nice. Imagine how much of us was born with a gift but never discovered. That is very true. You know that there's a lot of people that have gone through this world or are still on this world that have not realized the gift that they were born with. It's very sad. Like, you really should try everything out to see what actually clicks for you. And some people don't realize it till later in life. Costco now goes through Shutterfly if you order prints online. I've never used them. I got to see if they're good. They're partnered. Ooh. Prints on Wood is a dope company. Never heard of them. I got to look them up. UV resin I UV resin all my clay pieces. Do you do clay pieces? Damn, we're finding things out about Hyde. I didn't even know. I didn't even know Hyde was into art. They use sustainable woods, and their plant is carbon neutral. I gotta look that up. My artwork frames all have anti-glare UV block glass. Yes, that's very important. So 2 things that I look for when I'm framing artwork like this that I just showed you is acid-free matting and backing, and then also the glass has to be UV protector, UV blocking. Very important. I try not to hang my art in front of windows, you know, direct sunlight. I sold art through them before. Hyde, great company, great folks to work with. Oh, interesting. What I need to work on now, I need to find someone that does frames. I need inexpensive, good-looking frames. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but I need inexpensive, good-looking frames. Here's another question asked in this Midjourney magazine to this community profile of Marcos Fernandez. It says by the way, he's from Portugal and he's an AI artist. It says, what adversity have you faced in life and how has overcoming it defined you? So this is pretty interesting here. Dealing with depression has been a significant challenge for me and still is. It's a journey that has deeply influenced how I view the world and interact with others. Overcoming it has taught me the importance of empathy towards the people around me. I've become more attuned to the needs and struggles of others, aiming to ensure they don't feel alone in their battles. This experience has defined my personal growth, but also deepened my impacts, but also deeply impacts my art, where I strive to express themes of hope and connection, but also enabling me to appreciate my struggle. So I love these articles that I've been reading on Midjourney. I didn't even realize these articles were in there because, you know, Nord doesn't read, but I've read through the last 4 issues and I've found like 3 different articles in each one, or interviews I should say. But this one in particular, when I read this, it resonated with me because of, I hate, by the way, I uninstalled TikTok from my phones and my iPad because the amount of garbage that is on there is really pissing me off, and I hate fake content. And that's kind of what I've been seeing a lot. And the reason why this particular paragraph resonates with me is because there's someone on TikTok, when there's multiple people that do this, that tend to put on skits and pass it off as real. They're fake interactions and they pass them off as real. And the interactions are just promoting negative things in society. For example, this one particular person does content about being discriminated against in his own home or community. So his HOA is always racist towards them because they're Latin or they're black, one of the two. And so when they're like trying to get into their house, and then the HOA guy comes over and says, "Excuse me, can I help you?" And it's always the same. It works out the same way. And he says, "No, I'm fine." It's like, "I'm sorry, do you live here?" And so they start talking about how wealthy the community is, and there's no way that a person like you could live here. And basically that's the way it goes to end. And it gets very confrontational, and they say a lot of like negative things. And of course, everybody in the comments is like, "Yeah, I hate when those HOA people do that," or another Karen and whatever. And all it is promoting this negative aspect of society that we really don't need to talk about. We just need to change. But it's all like fake. Later, Troy, take care, man. Good to see you. But it's all fake. If you're going to make content, why isn't it positive? Why don't you put a positive spin on things? Why do you have to showcase negative stuff? And so that's where when I read this guy's talking about this experience has defined my personal growth and also deeply impacts my art, where I strive to express themes of hope and connection, but also enabling me to appreciate my struggle. And it's like, when I read that, And I think back about that other person's content. I'm just like, why put out, one, you're taking the time to create fake interactions. Why do they have to be negative? It sucks. I hate when people do that. It's like, it's such a waste. So anyways, there's a lot of that on and the other thing, I talked about this before, Facebook Marketplace. I used to think it was a great place. It reminded me of like a trader place where people wanted to sell their stuff and you can buy it. And then I started looking at like cars and motorcycles along that lines, and then realized that there were so many car dealers that were advertising in Facebook Marketplace. In other words, the ads that you were seeing for listed vehicles were no longer people that are personally selling their vehicle. It was actually a car dealer using Facebook Marketplace as their way of selling their vehicles on their lot. And they put cars up there for like $3,000, and you look and it's not $3,000, it's $3,000 down with qualified credit and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this isn't what this place should be like. So I completely cut out Facebook Marketplace also. I'm like, and I remember I got a PlayStation from there before. I got an Xbox from there before because I got things that people were selling. But more and more I'm finding that stores or car dealers or stuff like that are actually promoting their own vehicles or their own materials there. It's like, that's not, it should be like restricted in that. That's just me though. I just heard something, so I'm checking. What's up, Super? Sorry, man, I didn't see you there. I had you on this one. Everybody must be chatting YouTube. How is Nord wider after the cruise? It's the lighting. I didn't go out in the sun either. I didn't lay out. Good to see you, man. Everybody's over on YouTube chatting. Well, at least the people were, but we're winding down now. I was gonna play Elden Ring, but I think I'm gonna play a little later. I'm gonna go check on my wife. She was getting some rest, so I took a little bit of time. Now I'm gonna go check on her and see how she's doing. Sent you a link. Oh, thanks, man. You sent me the link for the company. Good. I'm taking a pottery class this fall. Very excited. Ooh, nice. For frames, go to Michael's. Every 2 weeks they are 50% off. I did notice that they're always off, but they don't have a big selection. I gotta look again. I'll have to go. I'm gonna go in person because I was looking online. It's not the same, but they do always have 50% off for something. If I'm feeling my vibe, I may buy bulk plain wood frames and paint or stain them. That's a good idea. I want to go to one of those sometimes estate sales or a place that sells old frames, like secondhand stores have like old framed art, and sometimes the frames are better than the art, and I take the frames. I think I might go to, there's a place called the Man Cave or something in Jupiter. It's a little bit of a ways from me, but I might go there because they have like consignment things, and sometimes they have old frames there too. Great things about prints on wood, no frame needed. That's true. That's true. I like the canvas prints. All right. Let's see. This is the last. I'm going to read this last piece of this article before I go. This is the same article, community profile in the Midjourney magazine. Marcos Fernandez, AR artist from Portugal. They're asked, can you talk about some of the friends and connections you've made in the AI image generation community? I've been lucky enough to start a community called Avalansa. I think that's what it is. Where I've met some truly amazing people. Folks like Farah, Fred, James, Young, Max Gregg, Ashley, Astro, Nova, Mac. All right, all these people we don't know. Have become not just collaborators, but sources of inspiration and support. Each person brings their unique style and perspective, enriching the community and pushing all of us to explore new ideas and techniques. This network has not only been fueled by creative endeavors, but also provided a solid foundation of friendship and motivation. It's been a powerful reminder of how collaboration and shared passion can drive us forward, encouraging me to continuously learn and improve. Very good. And it is interesting when you go on like Twitter, for example, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And there are a bunch of AI artists there that have formed a community, and they follow each other and they promote and they share prompts, and you actually learn a lot from other people watching. I think it's great. I like that there is no negativity in those. Like, there's nobody posting like, your AI art sucks, you're not a real artist, or anything like that. They actually all encourage each other, which is great. And I think it's awesome that people are respectful in that case, because it is a different type of art. Anyhow, enough of that. This is not an AI art show. That's a different stream that I do. All right, guys, I think I'm coming to the end. So this is what I'm going to plan on doing, because of the fact that I was going to play Elden Ring now, but obviously I'm going to check on my wife, make sure she gets what she needs. Get some freaking ibuprofen. We'll go from there. So I am going to be back later today. What time is it? It's probably going to be an afternoon, a later afternoon or evening stream, and we'll play some Elden Ring, get us started. If I can fix my PlayStation, I'm hoping I can get my PlayStation to work on my stream. So if I can make that connection work, then it would save us a step of actually having to kill those two bosses. Because if not, then we're going to play the PC version, and I have to go find those two bosses I need to kill before I can get into the DLC. So we'll figure that one out. So anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great day. I hope when you're watching this that everything is going well for you. If not, hey man, it's just, it's just a little bit of time in a big line story, you know what I mean? So you're fine. Take care of yourself, do something fun, get outdoors, smell some fresh air if you get a chance. And we will be back later today for some gaming. And if you're not into that, then we'll be back for more news and views, chatting, and also gaming. Probably more gaming tomorrow. I'll be around here at 9 a.m. And then we're going to try to stream every day this week. So we're going to do that around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on YouTube and Twitch, so you can watch wherever you like. A couple of you I'll talk to offline a little bit later. Hope everything's going well. If you need me, you know where to find me. I'm available on Discord or anywhere on my social media platforms. Right? There you go. And by the way, if you ever wonder, like, I'm like, oh, what is Nordwolf's Instagram or his YouTube or his Twitch or whatever, you can go to like nordwolf.com, nordwolf.net, nordwolf.org, and that will take you to one of them. So just so you know, it's really simple. So in case you ever forget. So until next time, have a great day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. I'm out. Peace.